two, one. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I could flip a dollar to $1 million. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. 3, 2, 1. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. It's a new day, days been new. Been a decade since I made it out of rent too. We some owners, baby, we don't got no rent due. Might trick, but my wife, like to trick too. Merry Christmas, hey, Saint Nick. What we want, get, we on wait list.
Let me send my boyfriend a picture of me.
What's your daughter's name?
Yeah.
And then you have
When I said this has to be in fucking production.
this is the production.
This is describing.
Okay, my jeans won't go up that high.
You should see what it fucking looks like. You're joking. You're gonna cry. Please. I'm serious. You're
A
gonna
whole cry.
Don't say that.
No, you're gonna cry.
No.
Are we live?
Phones off and iPhones on airplane mode. Did you guys hear that?
Hello.
I think this is my first time on camera.
I would. What's the issue, guys? What's burning inside?
What's deep down?
Bless you.
Giving you sometimes sleepless nights. Tossing and turning. Not wanting to have a drink when you need one.
Can I light a joint on set? I can, obviously.
Why not?
I was gonna introduce the show first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, this would be the next episode. So we're still in our early stages of the podcast. So, firstly, thank you to everyone who's on set, and also everyone who's watching, and everyone who is on the panel. You know, so this is something's gotta give. No, something's gotta change in the industry. We're basically a show that we have to discuss the things that are an issue in the industry, because if we're not talking often enough about the things that are happening that are bothering us, then nothing's going to move. There isn't a pin that is going to shift in a direction or shift the wind, you know? So we need to have these conversations. Hopefully they don't end as just conversations. Hopefully, especially because we build towards solutions. Hopefully at the end we actually change, especially because we are media change agents, right?
Yeah.
Those who, yes. Some introducer, Ipileng, so move just now. That's good, girl. So Media Change Agents is a media nonprofit that specializes or works for the good of creatives. So we are for creatives by creatives. We like if you know the story of how we work with each other, you'll understand which we really are for us by us, right? Everything that we do, we're doing it to grow each other. And we don't get a lot of help from outside. We actually do everything ourselves. So we inform ourselves. We job seek and job share ourselves. We look for funding for ourselves. We share amongst each other new opportunities, templates, advice. You know, we are each other's consultants too. So we are an organization that is transforming the industry from the inside, and we're taking it outward. And the culture is that we actually want to be, it's actually in the belly of us, which we want to break barriers to entry. And we do so by actually opening up platforms, that, you know, WhatsApp, website, social media, to make sure that more people come into the industry and more people have a safe space, right? And I'm Ayanda. Yaya on fire. Jesus on physis. Zinja the game. Inja se Rockville, Castellama Rockstar.
Petiana.
Listen, I got shine in 5 minutes, so I'm sugel.
Okay. Okie dokie.
She is so mad.
Yeah! Thank you.
Exactly.
Can't kill my shine.
This means relax.
So I'm a content producer. I've been in the industry for 13 years. I started at Soweto TV. I don't know if this is the time to tell my story because the topic namhlanje is about that. So maybe I'll get into it later. Ne?
Yeah.
So yeah, I started at Soweto TV as a writer and assisting every show that needed to be assisted. And I grew into the industry doing shows like 10 over 10, Stargist, BT this, BT that, IPT, Footy, BT, Binions, no my yenziwayo. I've worked, hey. So right now, I've got a show on called Ezomshado on TV. Catch it every Sunday. That's my latest work. Last year was Togoza Mundwam. So yeah, I'm a TV mugal. Oh, and I'm the founder and chairperson of Media Change.
Come on.
Yes.
Thank you, founder.
Thanks.
We need a horn now.
Oh, baby.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm guessing it's over to me.
Yes.
My name is Mpoma Ringa. I'll call myself a television practitioner because I've had multiple roles and my title changes with the job I do. But I firstly identify as a content producer. Then I am a producer sometimes. I've been a commissioning editor. I've worked in film funding. So yeah. My passion, I didn't choose television. Television chose me. And every time I try to run, it won't let me. My passion is storytelling, but my passion is also development. I've had the good fortune of finding a lot of new talent and giving them a chance and nurturing them and helping people get their first even production as a commissioning editor. Talking about barriers to entry, I was saying this is my 20th year in the industry, but actually the 20th anniversary is going to be in November. So I graduated in 2003, but I finished in 2003. But from January to November, I was doing random little jobs as a favor, but nothing stable. So I had my own barriers. So I'm here to share.
Great.
Lisang?
You guys look at me. I'm next, ne?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I go by the name Lisang. Yeah. Where do I even start? I do a lot of things. Wow. What am I supposed to do? Like a brief background, man? Nothing about my background is brief.
Brief.
So I went to...
We saw the
I went
two-pager.
to-
Bullet points.
Highlights.
Okay,
Headlines.
so let's take it to when I was a child. I think no, to explain, it's a whole story. So this is how I got into entertainment.
As a
Right?
child.
No, let's just start at entertainment before being part of the media industry, before being in production or whatever. So I started off entertainment as a child. Probably from the age of 4 was my first time on a stage when I used to do musical theater. And then by the age of 5, I think I emceed for the first time to the mayors of Pretoria and whatever. That's at the age of 5. You guys don't even know this.
Wait,
Surprise!
For the mayor.
Yeah. I was already reading speeches at the age of 5.
Hi,
And then, I'm serious.
You could read?
Yeah, the Pretoria main hall. I
Other
could.
children accounting to
No, I'm
10.
saying I was saying
Bruh,
speeches.
ABC.
Yeah, no, you have a
Getting
teacher in creche that sits you down and says, okay, cool. So you're going to start off by saying good morning, whoever. Then they recite it to you and then you just repeat it. There's a picture which should actually be nice if it pops up here. But,
Please read
no, it can't. I don't even know what the picture is.
We'll find it.
We'll find.
And then went to high school. In high school, I went to an art school. I studied music for a very long time. I started studying music actually in grade 4. And then I did music all my life. Then I did music professionally. So I played the trumpet, the piano, and I'm vocally trained. But I did all of this classical and jazz. And then after matric, I said the only way I was going to study music or carry on with music is if I went to like Juilliard or something, or the
Ooh.
Observatore somewhere in Italy, But obviously, we're black, couldn't have these barriers to entry in such at music in such caliber. And then, so I went to go study medicine. Actually, I went to Wits Med School, studied medicine there up until 3rd year. I left, I quit, and I got a scholarship to go be a pilot. And then I left. And then obviously the entertainment bug pulls you back somehow. When I came back from the Eastern Cape studying to be a pilot, the first thing that I did was go to the Y Academy. And then that's how entertainment pulled me back in again. Then I remember in the Y Academy, actually, they started teaching me about cameras, the white balance, what. I said, hey man, I'm sort of interested in this. And then fast forward to my life now, I'm only in production as because I've got friends in production, and I started being interested in what they do because I've got the eye for good looking things, you know. So I started being interested in what they do, and I'd like follow Kuda around on sets and see, hey, how are you doing this? How are you doing this? And eventually, I remember a funny story. Kuda threw me in to be an AD on a film set for the first time, and he said, "Hey man, you've been asking so many questions. Come, you're AD. You do this." And the most scariest moment was when they asked me to call it. And I was like, call what?
And call who?
And there's a whole room with like multi-award winning freaking people in production. And they're telling me to call it. I'm like, oh, okay. But I know I'm quick on my feet. So the first thing I said is, okay, I'm just going to get a call outside. Could I please call it for me? And I left, but I stood outside the window
And
to
watched.
listen to how do you call it? What do they mean by that? With the sound speeding and the cameras rolling and whatever. I was like, oh, okay. Next scene, I was calling it like I knew all along. Great time. But then that's how now I started coming back into, okay, cool. Now it's entertainment. Okay, what can I do in the industry? And I started being a digital content producer, producing stuff like Feel Good Live Sessions, producing stuff like Microwave Boys, producing all of this other stuff. So my life literally started revolving around, oh my God, this is so addictive. How do you guys not take out content the whole time? You know, and yeah, luckily then I started creating influencers, so to speak, well, managing influencers rather.
Yeah.
I've managed the Microwave Boys. Obviously, from inception, we didn't know what we were doing. Get into this YouTube world. So that's when I learned to say, no, but this is how you manage a group of people that are becoming now stars. And then later on in life, I did become an influencer manager. A lot of my friends are influencers, and that's sort of my thing. Content creation. I know I'm a king on a cell phone. Instagram stories. I don't waste anyone's data. Please follow me. My handle is Skepula. So yeah, that's about a wrap up of the things that I can remember. Right now, though, what I am doing is that I'm a professional corporate MC. So I MC for a lot of corporates, the UN and what, and big major brands. So I'm trying to grow up a little bit.
Is that
But
why
I'm
you
here-
just did the voice now? I'm a corporate MC.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. But obviously still dabbling in production. I still have a passion for everything that is we're doing right now. I jump between being talent, being behind the camera. And I feel like there's valuable inputs that I've learned along the way because of having such a colorful life. I might give a different perspective. That's why I'm here, to give perspective on how I see things and my understanding of things. Not to say that this is what you should believe, but to show everybody that there's other people that believe things through this lens.
Differently.
Yeah. Through this lens. I use that word.
Yeah.
In case it flew.
Yeah. Just bring it back.
Some of us.
What do we do?
Oh,
In case
well, I guess I'm next, right? So I'm Elton Mamatlepa, and I think my story is similar to everyone else's. You know, I started being a performer at a very young age. I remember my first role as an actor was playing Joseph. You know, like when Jesus was born, the whole Christmas carols. I was like 4 or 5. And I always found a way to shine in everything that I do. In class, I was the brightest kid. So even when I went and studied actuarial science, nobody in the family was shocked because they were like, well, kinda expected that. But I think I've always been passionate about the arts, but a lot of people don't know that I was actually a ballroom and Latin dancer. A professional. Yes.
That's why you look like that.
The Western move.
Oh,
All the way to the tunnels.
Thank you. So I was actually a national. I was dancing at national level. Lucia Kuba. Yes. I was literally at that level. She was coaching us at that point, you know.
Oh, cool.
So, and then I stopped when I went to high school, and then I decided to focus on the studies. But even when I was in high school, I always loved English as a subject. You know, maths I would pass, yes. But I think English was what I loved the most because there was the literature section of it. And I would get to read, and then they would say, oh, let's make a drama series out of this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be the storyteller. So, okay, fine. After high school, I decided I'm not sure about dramatic arts, so let me just do something for the sake of security, you know? And then because I got the A's, I decided to do actuarial science. But even there, when I was in varsity, I still knew that, you know, there was something that just wasn't there. It was something missing. So I would go to auditions and do different things. I loved when we had to do like the communications module because I had to present a lot. And then I would be shining and everyone would be shocked. Like, are you sure you're in the right course? Because everyone there is a nerd. So now there's this young boy who's just all over the place and happy to be here. And course is chowing, but he looks very happy. for their liking. But then, yeah, and then I moved to corporate after that. But then I decided, no, okay, I'm going to stick to corporate for now, but I still need to go back and do what I love. So I started networking with people, and that's how I met Ayanda. And yeah, we started talking. I started asking a whole lot of questions. And, you know, the fact that I was willing to learn is what landed me here. Right. And naturally, I'm a storyteller and I ask a lot of questions. My mom used to get tired of me telling stories from school, like, this is what happened. And I think the beautiful thing for me is that most of my stories actually come from dreams. So I would dream in the wee hours of the morning and then wake up and just write the stories and be like, okay, but what's next? Now I need the funding. You know, sort of like, I need the funding now. So, you know, that's where the barriers come in to say, you know, there's so many people with ideas. But then where is the money or where is something, basically?
The opportunities. So there are a lot of people. Are there enough opportunities for everyone?
Like there's a lot of talent out there, but what we're looking for is those opportunities for us to be out there and actually showcase what we have to tell.
We'll get into it.
Yes.
So the format of the show is that we introduce our crew as well. So who do I start with? Our director. Or do I start that way and go this way? The voice you guys keep hearing is Lolly, Miss Content. Look at Ipileng running away. The next one is Ipileng, production assistant. The other one is Ntokozo Dlovu. Hi. Production coord. Yes.
Production baby.
The
baby. My bebes. The next one is Kuda Kwash, Kuda Cash, no dash. Yeah.
With the fancy gelish. I love Kuda's nails.
Kuda's nails and my nails match.
Where did you get
Oh, it's literally the same color.
It's the same damn color. Hello.
I'm so jealous. I can't stand it.
Next is Debo Hosi. Importile. Keep it talent elisutu. Hello. Ujabulo kuya social media rise laphayana. Hey, see us advertising coming through.
Hey, we're live, baby.
Yes. We've got Thomas, Mr. Juice. You will see him on some of your favorite TV shows or something next to your favorite celebs on some ads. But right now, Ute funa ukuba cameron behind the lens. So usiphe a chance as media change agents. Thanks. So we've got Umpo, digital auntie. If ufuna mamkhulu or digital also advise ukuthi social media, what must happen? Mamkhulu.
Wow.
Auntie you have to block.
No, this is the auntie don't block.
She knows what you're up to anyway.
Yes. Because she's there.
She's there.
with you?
Kuda, please.
Andrew, AD, extraordinaire.
Benji's like, no, I'm just reading the script. You guys are stressing
I'm
me.
also like an upcoming one.
Bengu.
Keep flowing. And
We've got Joe at the back there. My baby brother is take a boy child to work
day.
And then we've got Dennis. It's slepile kodwa, as long as
also extraordinaire editor.
editor extraordinary.
You're on the estate last term.
Ooh.
Shout out.
Hello.
Making sure everything is fine.
Hello.
Is on another level.
Everybody is a somebody. So we introduced the crew because we are a film and TV organization, and we are trying to say, Uti, the people behind the lens are as important as the people in front of it. And we actually want people to take an interest when the credits are going up. You must say, oh yes, that's that Lolly. She is there by content. Oh, Ntokzi, there's Ntokozo, there's Kuda Cash, no dash. Oh my God, you know. So you must care about the people behind the scenes because without us, there are no shows. And also, which is a wild one, during COVID, they acted like we actually don't matter.
That time, demand for content was soaring.
It was
so
high.
People wanted this more than ever. People like SABC had record highs of ARs. Everybody just demand was. Netflix had like, I don't know, weird percentages. Fact check. I want to say 200%, but I'm lying. Yeah.
I'm trying to find it for you. Keep going. I'll let you know.
Yes. And that was the time when the need for content was soaring. But the content creators, where were they?
Where were they? Suffering.
in the greater scheme of things, it's this behind the scenes. It's also like we're at the back of everybody's mind.
Like, you know, Max, can I tell you? So even if we don't have percentages, right? Media Change Agents posts ratings on our Twitter page.
Yeah.
Right? At the time, viewership for SABC shows Scheme Sam and Uzalo they were competing between 10 million and 8 million, right? During COVID. So I think so 1 week Uzalo would be at 10 million, the other one is Scheme Sam. So they were competing together at that time. And then now the viewership is at 4 million.
Look at that.
So during COVID, during our lockdown, during all of that, there were 6 million more views for a TV show. So if we're looking at percentages, Maths, what's Anka Maths?
Yeah, actually, that's pretty
Very
bad.
true. I'm going to fact check. I am mathematics.
So yes, so it was 10 million at the time, and now it's 4 million 8. You know, so
That's less than half.
SABC3 is even doing
That's
worse.
40%.
SABC3 at least was close to hitting about 800,000. Like something has been happening with SABC3 since I'm top pinning left, right? But now it was hitting about 800K viewers. Now SABC3 for the movies, our international and sports, is on 300K viewers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think also just to add on to that, you know, during COVID, a lot of us were locked inside. So for me, for example, I wasn't really a soapy person, but I was kind of forced to be a person that is a fan of soapies. So I was following literally everything that you can think of. Skim Sam, I was there. Scandal, I was there. Even Generations, The Legacy, I was there. Movango, I was there. So it actually is believable that you would say that the numbers actually skyrocketed because at the end of the day, there was really nothing for us to do.
So they needed us.
Yes.
So,
Is what you're
yes,
saying.
There was a high demand.
Exactly.
Netflix does say, this is on stuff.co.za, foreign media viewing went up by almost 200%.
Oh, okay, Paul. You should have done the actuarial science instead.
And the most, actually, the one that went up by like gazillion was
Yes.
K-drama and in South Africa.
Okay, I'm one of those viewers.
It was viewing by nearly 300%.
This topic, basically, Kulman or Elton at my house last week.
Why did you guys invite us?
He just brought me mangoes.
Okay.
So we don't eat mangoes?
As I Nisho. We speak every day in the group and you guys don't say. And also, you say in the group, oh my God, you're coming back. Please bring me mangoes.
Thank you.
Why didn't you say
No,
auntie?
nobody texted
Me too.
Okay.
Well, you're
Fine.
from Limpopo.
Fine.
You didn't need to ask from me.
I wasn't home. But
You went home sometime.
You didn't go sometime.
I didn't. I'm
She
a
did.
When was
caller.
the last time you went home?
The 20th of November.
Thank you. The mangoes were already ripe by then.
So, what were you guys talking about at this mango convention?
No, so then we were mango.
Because clearly,
So we were talking about, so he was asking me, Guti, is it easy to pitch a show and to get a show in, right? And weirdly, that day, a friend of mine who is a commissioning editor as well was telling me, Guti, you actually don't have to have a production company to be able to pitch at DSTV. You can apply, yes. So you can apply on their platform, on their submission portal as an individual, right? And people don't know that. People are still trying to hustle other producers in the industry. So there was this whole thing in the industry back then. And that's why Media Change Agents started actually. There was this whole thing where everybody was just like, no, if you want to meet a producer and either you want to be an actor, like to get in as an actor, or you want to like get in as a script writer or any of that stuff, go hang out at Maboneng or at Melville and like just, you know, rub shoulders.
be a bit loose, man.
Be loose. Loose cannon.
And dress like them so that you can fit
Oh
in.
my God, now you're wearing Uggs, Usha. Because the industry, Asika Kanye West style. So you have to buy people drinks and all of that stuff. I just felt like, okay, so if you are a recent graduate and you want to come into the industry, you don't have the money. Firstly, I'm an internship are very much free internships in the industry. A lot.
Voluntary work.
Voluntary work. Okay, Martina, see non-profit. So
That's a special case.
So
I volunteered to be here today at the record show.
We all did.
Passion
It was a
project.
passion project.
You don't know what the future holds.
Hey, I've got exciting passions.
So you're a recent graduate. Where are you going to get the money to go and buy someone drinks in Melville?
Yeah.
And you can't just go there as a once-off, right?
Yeah.
Because you're forgettable. People are drinking, they're having fun, and the nature of that networking is that you have to buy a person drinks so that they will be lubricated, they will be inebriated, and English goes out. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we were saying, Uguti, when does it end?
Yeah.
Uguti, you have to suck up in order to
So-
become an industry person.
So I was having this conversation downstairs with Lotta actually. And we were discussing this, and it actually changed my mind, surprisingly, because I was on your side about this, and it made me see another side to say, it can't ever end because there is a culture of business everywhere, right? The culture of business everywhere is that I need to have the great enough people skills for those people to open a door for me. The culture of it is that even if I don't have money to be buying you a bottle at Jameli's Naughty Corner, because that's where some of these deals also happen, in Jameli's little Naughty Corner there, and I can't afford a bottle just to say hi to the gents, I need to grow a certain level of networking skill where I'm able to open up doors for myself without having to spend a certain amount of money, because then money becomes a barrier of entry. Then technically, then everything will become a barrier of entry. We can't keep saying barriers of entry are things that are changeable. Number one, something like networking is something that a person can work on themselves and learn networking skills, right? Any room that I enter, I make sure what I want to know. What does this person do? What does this person do? What does this person do? And how do these people help me with what I want to do in life?
That's what.
Yeah.
Then I go to the position of trying to find out, okay, cool. If this person does this, this person does this. Part of my networking skills are interpersonal relationship skills where this guy starts saying, well, now what do you do? Right. And then suddenly this person seems to have opened up a gate for you because now your networking skills are a little bit higher. And it happens all the way in business. It happens in corporates as well. But Nedbank have the golf day for that exact reason.
Yeah.
So that people can network. So when you come out of AFDA, you don't realize that if big corporates are doing this starts at ground level. It starts from leaving AFDA and saying, I want to go on Yaya's set. Media Change Agents has got a set, but now they're shooting a podcast. I want to go on that set because I don't know. There might be someone that's on that set that likes what I do because we're all in the same industry, but this is not the same job. Here, we're here as a passion project, right? But we all work on different fields. We all work on different sets all over the world, right? So the difference is our interpersonal skills. Even today, sitting here, somebody just asking you, sorry, how does a vlog work? How does this work? Those skills end up saying, hey, man, Kuda, why don't you call that guy that we once shot the podcast with for them to do that? Then the gate is getting opened, right? But who is to blame in the industry are the people that are older than us in the industry with more with more accolades and that are getting all the jobs. The one that are fully booked.
The veterans.
There then lies the responsibility for them. It's not that they're gatekeeping.
Yeah.
It's that they don't realize that with that experience and those accolades, there comes a responsibility where you have to learn how to turn around and pull someone up.
Yeah.
To tell
You're
the
not
truth, they are
successful.
gatekeeping though.
No, but I'm saying
They are.
no. But that's no. But sometimes it's not a conscious gatekeeping. It's because everything
would you-
give a
would you-
scheme. Oh
Mm.
no, but if I want to shoot something, I'm gonna call Yaya. I'm gonna call Batwan. I'm not consciously gatekeeping. It's just that these are people that I trust because these people that I've worked with in that space. Right? If I get a new project tomorrow, these are the people that I've worked with in that space. So therefore I will call them, not consciously gatekeeping. What
I think there is actual gate. So in the sense that
there is actual. I'm saying let's not ignore the other side that sometimes the onus is
Yes.
also on us to open those, to knock on the gate.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Body, giving us.
Oh, sorry, giving you too much of my profile. So I'm saying the reality is we can't shun the whole thing and say that this is gatekeeping because 20% of it might be gatekeeping. Somebody that hates you, somebody doesn't want to do this, somebody that says, no, this is our job, Kaskim Saka. But I think majority of it is more.
So, but just a question on that, right?
Yeah.
If we're saying that, we also need to consider that it's not a gatekeeping to a certain extent. Don't you think that as veterans, then people should be saying, Ayanda, when you come to set, can you bring a newbie? Just to make sure that people get the exposure in a way.
From a corporate or whatever. So say at SABC,
Yeah.
I think one of the conditions of your contract is that there must be some level of skills transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked for a funder, and one of the requirements for getting funding is there must be a certain level of skills transfer and manageable. So you can't just say, I've got skills transfer, or what do we call it? Maybe you have like a BE partner, but this person is a 51% shareholder. They're just signing. They're not an active part of the
Yes.
production.
They're not empowered.
They're not
by-
empowered. It's like this person.
They're a face, they're a number.
They're a face,
Yeah,
and they're like that 50%. So I remember one of my duties was in this production, you were at this role and you were being trained. In the next production, I would like to see you grow.
And that's mandated, right?
That's mandated.
Okay.
But not everybody follows up on
Yes.
it or really like
Yeah.
they will have a big number. I mean, and I've seen a production that did it beautifully. It was an animation in Cape Town, and it hired all students, because Black students don't really have a profile. If you don't work for Triggerfish, you don't work for, you struggle. But that's a drop in the ocean. What's one company hiring 12 people doing?
Yeah.
When all these productions, I don't know if the DTIC has the same rules, but broadcasters, especially the SABC, it is part of the scorecard that you train someone, and it should be meaningful. You can't be a production assistant every single production.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to find out who else does it. If MultiChoice does it, but you mentioned something very interesting about MultiChoice. Applying as an individual, right?
Yes, Uti, so we have the assumption that you actually have to have a production company that also has a track record. But what she was saying to me is that we give you a supervising producer. So if you don't have a track record, firstly, if you're coming as an individual, I mean, we can check Uti, like what the process is. We'll update in the next episode or whatever. But so she was saying, Uti, if you're an individual, they've got, whether you're an individual or you're a company, they've got a system where they've got a supervising producer.
Oh, nice.
So if you are if you don't have it's mainly to be able to manage the budget.
Yeah.
And to have access to some suppliers, because in the industry, so some companies have rapport with suppliers, so they're able to get deals for production. So instead of getting the standard, this camera, this much, you're able to speak to media services to say, Slow, please, can I get these cameras for the week, and then I get a discount of this much, or but in my next production, I will hook you up. So they've got those kind of relationships, and they're able to leverage their relationships as experienced producers. Whereas if you are a new company or a new person, you would pay the cost, the full cost of the production, not be able to negotiate discounts anyway, because you don't have those, So the supervising producer actually gives you as a company, kind of like that skills transfer situation that you were talking about. They, for that first production, they kind of train you on how to deliver for MultiChoice. In the next production, they see how you have performed. Then you perhaps can then go on your own. So if you did season 1 with a supervising producer, season 2 might not be with a supervising producer.
Yeah.
You're your own thing. They actually did it with Ferguson Films and Chesa. So when Chesa was new, Ferguson Film was their supervising.
Oh, yeah.
So I think for me, the question there would be, how is this information being rolled out to the public?
So
because
the
we are
film
sitting
festival-
here and we don't
you didn't
know. Yes.
So another thing, it was that, and it's now going to be rolled out. And this is what I was saying to her, Uguti, there isn't information in the industry. That's why people don't know how to get in. That's why sometimes a lack of information, is because of, a lack of information does cause a barrier to entry. Because you don't know, Uguti, you can actually just text Ayanda or tweet her and say, hey, can I get the membership form here, Media Change Agents? I'll send it to you, you'll join the group, and you'll have access to all this information, access to jobs, access to funding, all of that stuff. So people just don't know. And I think it's very nice what you did. I'm actually inspired by you. I'm a young man. I hustle. Yeah, hustlisha, guys. I'm inspired by him because it reminds me of what I used to do back in the day. But he actually, Elton also.
Insane.
Elton found me on Twitter because he wanted to be on a show that I was doing. And I was like, no, I'm looking for different types of people. So, you know, and he was like, cool. And he still kept chatting me up, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he asked me about the industry. And I was like, oh, okay. Then I started talking about the industry and I gave him contacts and all of that stuff. Then I added him in the group. Do you know he has stalked and investigated everybody in the group?
Yeah,
he
I
knows
believe it.
Everyone.
He knows everybody's life. So he is Elton. I'm like, you're too silent, guys. Lento yenu youth, gang enja.
But here's the thing.
But look,
right?
it's gotten him.
Yes,
like, we're now
look where we
See,
are.
that's exactly what I'm describing then. Then the barrier to entry is that he knew how to knock on a door with persistence. You get what I'm
Thank
saying?
Without having to
He
buy me
can't
drinks.
say, he can't
Oh,
say.
but he did bring me mangoes.
That was a form of networking, opening the doors.
But the one thing he won't be able to say, the one thing he won't be able to say is that MCA has their own WhatsApp groups, and you know I wanted to be on a show, but now I can't ask Yaya to get into that circle because I thought it's only media and film people. But not knowing that, no, even as an avid fan of the industry, the gate is open.
Yeah.
The gate is open to opportunity. Like now, one day you might see a job and then say, actually. Maybe I will apply for this content producer job. That's
I
being
can
shared
do
in this
this.
group. Yeah.
So I was saying, when you were talking about golf days,
Yes.
we have our own version of golf days in a way. We've got film festivals and movie screenings and all those kind of things. Like, I didn't even know about Bioscope have
Yeah.
Oh,
little
yes.
screenings and all of that stuff. And people book that space so that you can come and view their movies before they actually release them so that they can get your views. You're good, okay, what do we change with the script? What do we do, you know? So I get, those feel a little bit niche, but film festivals are out there. They're all sorts of different random, like, film festivals. You get there.
And the thing is, you need to get there and immerse yourself, right?
Yes.
Any industry, and trust me, I've been in a lot of industries, as everybody knows, but any industry you get into. No, but I always say, I always want to be the best in whatever industry I get into. I need to know every single thing about this. I need to know why that light is sitting there. Why is the camera on a stand like that? And what type of a stand is this? You know, so the other thing is that you need to immerse yourself. If you're passionate about an industry, and even worse, if you've studied and your parents paid money for an industry, you need to be wholeheartedly in the industry. You need to live and breathe it, right?
Yes.
And I see it in other industries, like the pilot school that I went to. I used to sleep here, and the airplane that I'm going to fly tomorrow morning is right here. All I'm doing is living, breathing, and eating aviation.
Yeah.
And people forget that in all other industries, that's what you need to do. That's how you become the best at something. If you're interested in film, go to film festivals. It's not anybody's job to hold your hand and push you in a film festival and say, who knows, you might meet somebody. You might say, you want to do what? Come here, because in that specific spectrum of people all around, everybody is doing what it is that you want to do. So why wouldn't you go there? Do you get what I'm saying?
So my word right now is intentional.
Yes.
So I'm talkative. I can make a friend in 2 seconds. I can go to a party alone and come back with many friends. But what I wasn't doing, I would go to film festivals, but I'm also old school. And we don't talk about money and you don't push people about their jobs. I wasn't intentional about my natural gift of connecting with people easily, making friends easily, making conversation easily. I never thought it was a skill that I would use for networking. So I'd go to these events and it's that level of awareness and intentionality.
Yeah,
so I'm glad you guys get this. And I'm glad you're saying that. And I feel like it's a lost opportunity. Because gift of the gab, I don't have a shy bone in my body. Can't dance to save my life, but I will open the circle.
Yeah.
How did you get into the industry?
So even that. So, okay, let me explain that. One of the things that other kids did when we were in varsity is volunteer for companies. So some would find opportunities at SABC, show up. And I mean, that was 2003. I think things were a little bit more relaxed and there was more room.
2003.
Yeah, well, 2003 was my final.
I was in grade 1 then.
Oh, Lavi, call me mama.
Grade 1.
Call me mama.
I was still learning my
That
English.
was my final year.
Isn't there like an age restriction?
No, this is why we have the diversity.
Call me mamzo.
No, my chair bags.
Learning ABC. Yes. And actually, I was doing my honors year in 2004.
Wait.
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, year 4. Honors. Anyway, so when I was in school, Me, I knew I loved drama. I knew. When they said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Wits University to study drama. It was the only application I put in. My mother's like, you are crazy. What if they don't take you? I'm like, all or nothing. And I got it. But that was as far as my intentionality went. I didn't think about how I'm going to work. I didn't think about where I was going to go. And when I stumbled into television, stumble, literally. So when I finished school, I had a whole year where I wasn't finding a job. But, and there I was looking everywhere. I actually applied for my first job and I found it at a small production company that did a lot of ads and corporates, and then it did documentaries and other things. And after that, because I'd done a lot, research, script writing and what have you, then I applied to SABC. Now, let me explain how I got that SABC opportunity.
No, explain how you got the audacity first.
No, guys, to SABC. So I had a friend.
I want to know. You need to teach us your ways, because we want to know.
I got there and I'm like, it's my time now.
Yeah.
I've been doing the small time. No, honestly, I had a friend who had gotten in on an internship, and because he was internal, he could see the positions and he would send them out. Networking.
Connection.
But you see, you were applying your network in a way.
Yes,
so you were
I was.
using your
So
network.
is it really a connection, or is it being able to,
I mean, he could
to use
do
your
nothing
networking
for me.
asset? No, I'm just
Okay,
saying,
yeah, I was
you created an
I was
asset from your
using-
network.
Yes.
Yes.
He had no voice in where I was.
It was
Yes.
more of a recommendation.
Yes,
So,
it was
Yeah.
not even a recommendation.
Can I just say before, ne?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Soweto TV, I would say broke a barrier to entry for a lot of people in the industry. Because if it wasn't, so Mina, how I got in, I actually sat a step in Soweto TV, the edit suites. So the studios were there. Oh, by the way, it's a school. Well, now they've moved. It's a school, ne? So those classes are the studios and then the office. Then these classes are the edit suites. So I was sitting at the edit suites looking at the studio. So everyone who came out, I was like, I'm serious, I can write.
Yeah.
I can fix your subtitles. I've seen the spelling errors.
But,
I would constantly,
you know,
for 2 weeks, I was sitting out there and I was like,
do you realize,
I
do you
literally
realize
am
something?
serious.
Do you realize something?
I can write.
From everything that we are saying, there's that persistence, that
Yes.
intentional persistence to say, if I want something, a barrier of entry can be easily broken. Sometimes it takes sitting at the stairs and telling everybody that comes across you. Sometimes it takes going to a golf day or a film festival, right? Let's put it in context. Sometimes it takes going to a film festival, but there's certain barriers of entry that can be easily broken just by persistence, and sometimes meluhlange, and say,
Yes.
if you want this so much,
Thank
stalk
you.
someone. Guys, I used to stalk here. Do you know how I used to stalk? Here's a funny story. I used to stalk Bonang so much on Sundays. I'd call her. And up until Bonang answered this phone, because I want to present and I want to know how she speaks with such an amazing velvet voice, I would call her. Bonang knows me because of my persistence. And the one time she's like, you know what, listen, call me 7 p.m. on Sunday. Lost my mind. I was sweating from my armpits. I was like, I have to call Bonang. 5 to 7, I was like, let's just make sure that the phone is charged. Okay. Hey, come on, phone. Bonang's like, hey, Lesang. I'm like, oh my God, hey, Lesang.
Banang knows me.
This is my moment. She started to ask me, okay, what is it you want to do? I'm like, I want to present tomorrow. And it's like, listen, you know that I went to school. I went to On-Q Communication. You know that I auditioned at YFM this many times. You know, Top Billing said no to me, saying I was too young. It's all a process. Like, the more you speak is the more you're going to end up speaking, right? But these are barriers of entry to show that persistence. That's one side of barriers of entry, right? There's many different barriers of entry. Like, let's take, for example, blacklisting, right? Touchy one, because sometimes it's completely warranted, right? Because sometimes people have fucked people over in business, and therefore I'm going to tell my network that this person fucked me over. But there's blacklisting. Well, we can still unpack blacklisting. I don't know if you guys want to unpack it now.
No, so we can unpack it like after refilling. Yakbona.
Hey, I want to go get a drink.
Okay. Before that, social media. Listen.
I'll be back.
Oh my God. Drinks first for you.
Guys, please remember that Media Change Agents has social media pages. On Twitter, we are at Media Change SA. On Instagram, we are Media Change Agents. On Facebook, it's Media Change Agents. Yeah, you type Media Change Agents. We've got a website, www.mediachangeagents.org. And we've got a backup buddy link that will be put in the description because we are trying to raise funds for the upcoming film festivals that we're trying to do because we do need to open the industry more than just like the talk show, the podcast, the social media platforms and WhatsApp. Listen,
One of the ways to break the barriers.
Yes, that's what makes MCA a game changer, for example, because we're trying to break those barriers that we're talking about. It's not only just the problems, but then we're saying these are the solutions that we want to give to people.
Yeah,
so follow those pages.
Open up.
But also don't forget to follow me, The Black Alton on Twitter, The Black Alton on Instagram, The Black Alton on TikTok.
Yes!
With an E, Alton with an E, like Elton
Elton
John.
John.
Yes, but just the Black Alton, the black version.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
Oh, I'm very touched, guys. This conversation is giving me flashbacks.
Are you triggered or just?
I'm so triggered.
TW.
Why?
Trigger warning.
So, #story time. Here I am, young, 22, 23. I'm new in the industry. And
Yeah,
I'm
like my age. Yeah.
No, oh my God. You're a dreamer. I love that.
I'm looking forward to doing things. As a video editor, I'm pushing boundaries. I'm young, I'm black, female, and I'm cutting, and not just in J, but I'm working at the Home Channel. Working at the Home Channel, which used to be in Rosebank in the Avusa building, right? And I remember they were auditioning people to be on screen. They were doing screen tests.
Okay.
And I went up to my EP and I said to her, white lady, over 50. I said to her, I would like to do a screen test. And she looked me dead in the eye and said, I don't think our boss would like the fact that your hair is not straight enough.
What?
The barrier to entry.
Are you for real?
I had never experienced in my life any kind of racism
or friction
in that way.
What was your reaction?
Because of the person I am, the quick reaction was, oh, but he's missing out on so much.
Okay.
I've got it all.
I love the confidence.
Girl.
A couple of months later, we were doing KPIs. And she said to me, where do you see yourself in 5-10 years? And I looked at it in the eye and I said, your job.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Needless
You
to say,
did not say that. You did not.
I did. Legit. Needless to say, I did not get my full bonus that year. But it's okay.
Oh, hey. They put a barrier in front of your money to enter your bank account.
Basically, another obstacle on top of the obstacles.
Lalelani. Guys, I'm a class ceiling one breakup.
I'm at class ceilings.
I've been going over these barriers. But yeah, that was my trigger moment.
Yes.
Can somebody else please check? I need a drink.
Yeah.
So I think with mine, right, it combines a whole lot of things. So back then, when I was still doing like promo work and everything like that,
It was like back when you were like in actuary school or back when...
when I was still in varsity trying to make money, and so Twitter was very popular for those promos, and we'd get invited into these group chats and everything.
Yes.
And sometimes I remember this one incident where they said, you're going to get paid 200 Rand to post whatever tweets, I think 5 to 10 tweets a day for the entire week.
Okay.
And I was like, wait, 200? Are you not missing a zero? Nyana or an X, like what's happening? And funny enough, the person who was the promo manager at the time said, well, take it or leave it, because there's other people that are hungry, right? So now then you realize that what people are doing is they're trying to exploit other people so that they can say, if you feel like this is a barrier for you, trust and belief. I can
There's
find
another
another
one.
person.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
no.
to combine that one and this one, ne?
Yeah.
A big racial barrier to entry, and if you don't take it, someone else will. Is the unpaid internship check
Exposure.
because if that unpaid internship is basically saying, Wuti, get yourself to work, get yourself lunch,
Cheap labor.
so
Which
now,
what, man?
so now it's actually targeting those whose parents can give them imali and drop them off, who
Yeah.
can give
With
them
the
lunch,
iPad
and what
and
the
the
race is
Exactly.
that.
And the car.
And
Because that tends to be the race or the demographic, like, of people who can afford for a person to have an
Yes.
like an unpaid internship. At Soweto TV, I was working an unpaid internship, but it was only because my mother passed away when I was 11. And then her money came out at the time when I needed to get to Soweto
And you
TV. So
were
only
balling.
because I was busy,
But you know what? I understand.
then I was able to transport myself. But otherwise, because I worked there 8 months not getting paid.
Because the other thing is that
I wouldn't have had this opportunity. I wouldn't be here if I didn't get that payout, because essentially I wouldn't have had money. You gibeli taxi every time. You lunch. Sometimes you knock off late. So transport at that time is more expensive to organize.
You know what grinds my tits? The most talented people do not get a chance because of that.
Yes.
So for something like animation, it's Lily White.
Oh yeah.
Because we have amazing animators, we have amazing
Graphics.
game developers, graphic designers who are black. And then they go to school. When they come out, number one, they don't have an uncle who's got an animation company.
Yes.
Number two, they can't surf on their parents' couch when they are doing their little video. So the white kids, God bless their privilege, can do that. They've got the computers, they've got the software, they've got everything.
but the money.
Yeah, they've got the money. The black kids end up going to do animating logos when they could have made the next.
Yeah.
And that is so
My
sad.
And
business
being
card.
graphic designers.
And
It's
be
not that
graphic designers
is a bad thing,
in
but
business
if
card.
your goal was animation, and
Thank you.
you're
So
you're
limited
settling
to
for
graphic
Yeah.
design.
You know what the other crazy thing is, to add on to what you guys are saying, there's also a different type of barrier, which will be like peer-to-peer barrier, right? What was said to you about the fact that we're gonna pay you this much, and if you don't take it, there's gonna be other people that can take it. That now comes when I'm fighting, a CEO somewhere was fighting my invoice because what is my rate? What do you mean what is my rate? No, because somebody else has done it for cheaper. It does not defy my talent. Number one, no one can actually tell me what to charge. It's me, it's my talent. I'm sharing this talent with you for this amount. Whether you like it or not is none of my business. But sometimes what it does is it changes the threshold of industry
Yes.
remuneration, right? Because if enough people say yes to a low amount for this particular field, you're making all of us lose a job, because now you're accepting the low ones, when these clients should realize that the value of the craft or whatever I'm sharing with you is at that level. So that becomes then a peer-to-peer barrier to say that we're not all congruent with each other when it comes to how much we should all be paid.
It happened in COVID.
Yeah.
When we were saying, Guti, we were going to protest for the relief funds. And so, in the industry, there are different genres of production. So there are different pockets of the industry. So reality, there'll be people with drama, long form, short form, movies, all of that stuff. The news guys were working all the time in COVID,
Yes.
right? And during that time, we were saying, guys, we'd like to protest for our relief funds. They're like, y'all need that money. Tina, we pay.
We could.
We are not worried.
Yeah.
So
Essential
we actually
workers.
weren't able to stage a proper protest, which is that barrier.
Yeah.
So
Because
but
peers-
because
it's
our
peers
own
now,
peers
100%.
they
Give you a
weren't, yes.
platform.
So we had to do it online. So we had to do our own PR campaign and use other media, so radio, TV interviews, in order to get the message across.
Yeah.
So,
But the
our
industry-
own peers.
So just a
were
question
blocking
on
us,
that,
were money
right?
blocking us.
So a question on that. Would we consider that a barrier when somebody is trying to put food on their table and they're like, well, I can't really get myself involved in that because it's going to make me lose income. So it becomes complicated in a way to
Yeah,
say,
it's double-edged.
is it
It's a
intentional
double-edged sword.
or I'm just putting myself and my family first?
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, because the reality is sometimes you need the money, and Lesang's decision to be high has got nothing to do with me. I need to eat tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sometimes it's
Which was
completely-
their logic with the
which
news
is-
guys.
yes.
No, but I understand. But they're news guys, and they're working for a broadcaster for the news. a lot of freelancers are working for production companies and
Yes.
for whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, what harm is there in really helping you? What are they going to lose?
As in, they've got security.
Yes, they've got
Yes.
security,
And
and
we
it's
don't
a
have
valid story.
Yes, and it's a valid thing. So whether or not they were needed at the time of COVID,
Yes.
everybody's going to need the reporters. So they
To be
could
on the
afford
ground.
to show a little bit of solidarity, right?
And
Yes.
the NAC, is it the NAC thing? It was covered. Or was it? My memory fails me. I'm over.
We understand.
We got blacklisted for that.
What?
Yes, I truly believe media change agents got blacklisted in some way, because I would apply for funding using media change agents and then it would be rejected. Use the same sort of proposal using my private company and I would be accepted.
So a barrier was created.
Yeah, ukuthi wena you fight too much for a creative ula una mouth.
So no one likes a big mouth, eh?
They never do. So basically, they decided, you know what? There's already a barrier. Let me put another
So
one.
now, Media Change Agents is in its own barrier.
Speaking up for yourself is
We
a barrier.
can't actually become a production company for our crew people. So what we want to do
Like this
is to
beautiful
have
production.
yes. So what we want to that's why we have to do it ourselves. We have to call on favors, right?
yeah.
We can't necessarily say Uguti, we want to pitch a TV show about the industry and all of that stuff and then get our members in the groups to be working on there because we can't get that money. So we can't get in the spaces that other production companies are getting into.
So when Lisa was talking about peer-to-peer barriers, accepting a low rate or whatever. So speaking up for yourself is another barrier.
Yes.
So if you say I'm worth
Becomes
this,
internal, ne?
yes, I'm worth this, and I speak up, they're like troublemaker. We don't want her. She's too vocal.
Yes.
That's problematic.
I've been called a diva many times. Remember, I come to you, I'm like, Gad, you know that because I'm saying, no, this is my role in this, and this is where I'm drawing my line of my responsibility for this production. Oh my God, the song is a diva.
Are you not a diva?
I'm not a diva.
You're just dramatic.
No, I'm able, no,
he's not.
I'm able to be Karen, but it's completely warranted. I can back it up.
Yes.
I'll tell you
So-
exactly why. I'm
Yes.
saying that.
So I just wanted to ask a
own the-
question, right? In terms of these payments where somebody says, I deserve this and this. Do we have market related
Yes, 100%. That's why I was actually going with this.
oh yes.
In a lot of industries, there are market-related fees,
Yes.
right? It's a guideline, number
Yeah.
one. It's a nice guideline where you don't know where to begin in terms of fees, right? But it's not an official stamp. to say, well,
Yes.
that's the bottom line. It's a basis for beginning negotiations.
Yeah.
To say, listen, I want to charge her this much. The actual standard rate is this much.
Yes.
So this is where we're going to begin. And then it's up to us whether we agree to go higher if yours is higher, or maybe just pay you lower because yours actually below the standard. So you're actually cheaper than you think.
Yeah.
You know, but the onus falls on you to know what in your industry, your whole rates are. Like everybody should know what their industry
They're on
rate
call
is.
crew. I was
Yes.
gonna say, Uguti, so that's the interesting thing. Just kind of combining these conversations about the peer-to-peer, barrier and all of that, né? Because the film industry, the film side of the industry is more formalized. They hire from agency and all of that. They charge market-related rates. So the film industry, movie. Okay, let me say the movie industry because
Yes.
ne?
So the cinema
So
has
the movie industry
Yeah.
you can check on Call a Crew. Ne? And when you check on Call a Crew, those are the rates that international companies that come to film here locally and that Cape Town, because the Cape Town industry, when I was working in Cape Town, I was rich. Okay? Like they take you from Joburg. No, they take you from Joburg. They say, we heard you're a super dope content producer. Come to Cape Town. Come to Cape Town. You stay in a good hotel.
Yes.
You get transported to work all the time, which is industry standard. You ask for that in Joburg. They're like,
You're a diva.
They tell you to Uber
and
yourself.
yes, and then the rate is amazing. Like there's a month when I was like, maybe I should buy 9 sneakers.
Oh
And
my,
then
what?
I was like, okay, why would you think of 9 sneakers? And I saw Neymar too.
You were balling.
But I was saying,
They were real housewives.
no, maybe real housewives.
The real ones.
Tell us the truth.
So
It's production.
I'm saying in the Cape Town industry charges the industry rate that is
Yes.
recognized internationally.
Yes.
Okay.
The movie industry charges that. But because in reality there is that negotiation, you're going to see, okay, but Elton said he can do this production for 20K. When I triple the amount, so Tata Leana.
So now it feels like you
the
have to-
whole industry. Like if the drama guys and the film guys, when they look at Ama rates where what you get paid in reality, they're like, dog, that's what I get taxed.
But you see, because now it feels like you have to explain your skills to someone and convince them that you're good enough.
Yes, that's what you have to substantiate.
And it's literally, you can see the work that I've done. Why are you still asking me why I'm charging triple what the newbie is charging?
There's also the barrier to entry of also when you said it comes to ourselves as well, to educate ourselves on these things.
Yes.
People's red cards, I'm like, you're going to charge this company this. What about usage? This is your face. That they're going to be using. Where are they using it? How long are they using it for?
Yeah.
People don't charge, especially maybe up and coming influencers. They don't know that even for your picture, for that brand to say, can you post it on our page? Hey, for how long?
But do we have information of how to deal with that? Or like, for example, I don't know how to charge if somebody were to use my face for, let's say, a company decides to use my face on a brochure or something. I don't know how I would charge them.
It's there somewhere.
It used to-
There's
there
the
used to-
advertising rates, and they will
There's
tell you
PMA.
this is for
PMA, that's what it is.
The
the
professional
PMA
managers.
website, we'll put it down here.
Down here?
yeah, boy.
Anifake like sana.
Please, Professional Managers Association.
Yona leyo,
So
yona
we actually
leyo.
put the website address here because it's a very interesting site. You download, I think yearly they sent out that PDF that you can download. And when you download it, like it actually, the nice thing about these things is that it's a range, right? It's a range of salary. To say a junior person in this position gets paid this much, mid-level gets paid this much, and a senior person gets paid this much. There's ranges, and it also tells you how to calculate the usage for such. It gives you actual directions as to say, in sub-Saharan Africa, for 3 months,
Also, it's more
you take,
in-depth.
you actually take your fee that they pay, your total fee, then you times it and you take 75% of that for them to be able to use it in the country, around the country, sub-Saharan Africa for 12 months. So it gives you all of those details, just that the knowledge has to come from you to go and research that.
Yes.
Now, but here's the other. I don't know. I don't want to say mindfuck.
Spanner in the works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with a broadcaster, because I remember there was a time when I was working for the same, I was a content producer for the same broadcaster.
Yeah.
We had depending on slots, there's a cost per minute, right?
100%. Yeah.
So there was this cost per minute and there was that cost per minute. I'm the same professional, but because of this budget that has a 3,000 rand cost per
100%,
minute,
yeah.
how much they can spare for me realistically is this. And the quality that they needed was the quality that I provided. A newcomer couldn't have made it work as a content producer because I had to think, we've got such a small budget. How do I make it entertaining with these little resources and this and this and
True.
this?
Which
And
takes experience.
It takes experience. And you want to pay me less, which is, I'm like,
And you like, I sort of get it because it's your budget. It's kind of another show. But is it?
and then the easier
But is
show
it our
has a budget because it's it's a prime time
But is
slot.
it then our problem? I had this argument with a client. Okay.
You and Madeline.
But
Yeah.
I argue, sure.
That's why
I had this argument. with
Right,
yeah.
for yourself.
No, I had this argument with a client to say I understand, like especially if you know like a lot of legs in production, which is what happens with the experience of production, right? If you like this, now you want to know about this, now you want to know about this. So because I've been a producer, I understand that now I've been hired as talent on a certain show. But now I'm having a tip with the producer to say, listen, but I'm not stupid. I can do this as well. And I don't understand why you would expect this of me at this budget when I'm a producer. I know how that money should go. And technically, people should be able to pay for the level of experience that they want.
Fire.
Regardless of your cost per minute, it's actually shouldn't have nothing to do with me. You're lucky I understand cost per minute because otherwise I'm going to stand my ground and say that this is my rate. But I am understanding to you, and that's why you did the show, because you understand the cost per minute. But technically, if that is not your job and you actually bubble yourself into say, well, in this column of my experience, I don't know what cost per minute is. And unfortunately, this is my rate.
Thought of another barrier to entry. So what what production houses sometimes do is, and that's why I was working on different shows, they'll go, because for this one, we'll underpay you a little bit, not your full rate.
Yeah.
We're going to give you the next show and the next show. So guaranteed. So that closes opportunities for them hiring other people.
Right.
Sometimes
Yeah,
I'm
that
doing
does close
2
other
shows.
people.
Meanwhile, they could have put an album, but then Poi is gonna be on those shows.
Yes.
But
And I'm
But
not even
technically-
apologetic.
technically
because
not.
That's my life.
No, but technically not. That's you being nice.
That's open up.
Technically, because it's a negotiation, right? I am agreeing at this low fee with this client with the future prospect of other jobs. Yes, I can sign that down. Do you understand what I'm
Yes.
saying?
So you're
this is
not
my
closing-
normal rate, but if you guys give me 3 of these seasons, then I'm willing to come down because your cost per minute is down.
But
That's
are
a
you not
negotiation.
closing doors
You're not
for other
closing
people?
doors. It's a negotiation between you and somebody who's hired you to do your job.
It's new shows that are gonna come up at a different time.
But they promise
But
you
okay, but
that you.
here's my
they're
thing then.
negotiating with you. They're saying, Guti,
Yeah.
this round,
I get
the
that.
next 2 rounds. But also, here's the other thing, right? Ne? As a I understand this conversation from both sides. Ne?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
So as a content producer,
Okay.
I get asked, ne, when I come, like, they'll call me, Bati, Ayanda, I'd like you on this production. Ne? Another person will say that's a barrier to entry because Ayanda doesn't have to submit a CV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, they'll call
Because
me
it's
and say,
usually who you know, right?
it is. But for me, it's not always who I know.
It's also your
for
reputation
me,
precedes.
for me,
Exactly.
100%. You get
people say-
headhunted like any industry.
some people say, channel has asked me to call you, you know? Or
that's
so then
okay,
it's
so
my
that's-
reputation. Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Reputation.
So then, they'll say, okay, you are a content producer and all of that. For the more efficient running of the production, we want you to come with the people that you trust.
Yeah.
So who is your team? So I say, perfect, because I don't want to rebrief and all of that stuff. Then I call the people that I know, Oguti. I'm going to say, like when I'm on set, I'm going to give that person a look. And then they're going to know,
And they'll
Oguti,
know.
yo, let me jump into that one and push
Ayana
that
doesn't
one.
like that.
And then
I am
I'm
being
just
a
like-
mother. You know when mothers give you that side eye, you know you're
No,
doing
no,
something.
no. This look is a chomi. It's gonna burn that side. Humble faggy petrol.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll just be here and be like concentrating. Guti, okay, cast, focus on
But
me,
your
focus on
peripheral
whatever.
is looking.
And then I go, show me. Are you seeing it's going to burn that side? Let's get that content. So show me uzo gijima ngale and get that content for me.
Yes.
And when
Is
you,
that a barrier?
so
Isn't
now,
that a barrier then?
so now when I move, I move with 3 more people. So when I get hired, my 2
So you
researchers
make
get
up for
hired.
it.
So when I get hired, my 2 researchers get hired, and I go with a logger because when there's a conversation happening, I need somebody to be typing that shit for me because I need to read through it later and be like, yes, I'm together.
Yeah.
I know what I'm gonna put in the edit script. Ngicela laptop ngespeedy. So then I move with 3 people. So now, is it to say then, Uguti, there's another researcher people that could have been hired
Yeah.
instead of my
No,
team?
not
That's the
really.
question.
So with you, I think it's more of you're willing to transfer skill to other people. So you take other people with you, whether it's going to be a newbie or someone that needs that little bit of a push. So you're willing to do that. But there's people that say, I'm just going to go with Mpo because I've been working with Mpo for 20 years. So now it kind of becomes a barrier in that way because you're not opening up for the other people to learn, where it's kind of giving you experience to also transfer skill to other people and become a mentor. And I think that's what you're doing with MCA, where you're becoming a mentor to 1,000 people. And there's also other people in that media change agents who are doing the same job. So that's my thing as well.
On that, Yoguti, we need more lisangs. People are going to fight for that rate. We need more people who are going to fight for their peers, right? But it's also very risky in that, for me, I had to decide that I'm willing to quit the industry or I'm willing to not work for a while if what I'm fighting for is not like coming to light, or if they decide to punish me for fighting for what I'm fighting for. So I'm just like, ngizohlala. And then I'm sure when Azoba work, it's fine. But so you know, no, it does show the difference between if you sacrifice, if you don't call Ayanda and you call a cheaper version, that's fine. That's your funeral with your 200 viewers. It's okay. So
Recommission lost.
yeah, because commission no one. Awungiqashi nawe ngeke bakuqashe siyafana same boat sipay one
My venture.
asisinkeni sonke Anyway, our social media platforms are there. It's at Media Change Agents on Twitter. It's Media Change. No. Sorry. Twitter is at Media Change SA because our characters are enough as accommodate and then Instagram allows. So it's Media Change Agents at Media Change Agents on Instagram. On Facebook, it's the words Media Space Change Space Agents. And then we're gonna have a LinkedIn account soon. We have TikTok, Media Change Agents. We are on YouTube now, Media Change Agents. And just type media online. So
and on WhatsApp
website. And those platforms have our membership form. So you fill in the form, you join the groups, you see the conversations happen live, but also every week now we're gonna have these conversations with you. So we're also here. And then we've got a backup buddy link, guys. Nyazi economy, ayivumi, but we need to have a film festival soon so that we can all network nani, sonke, slanganeni, and do something. So backup buddy link, check the description here, check our social media pages, and also kind of just check Google because apparently our social media mugel, ushilo, wati. When you Google Media Change Agents, the backup buddy link comes out first. So ne Google throw.
I'm a SEO, but I think also what's good to mention about the WhatsApp stream is that on WhatsApp, firstly, this is like one of the only communities I'm part of. You know how WhatsApp's created this communities thing, and it works out so perfectly well because in Media Change, we've compartmentalized, right?
Yes.
So in audio, you have people that are having the audio discussions. In makeup, we've got the makeup artists having makeup discussions and plugging each other makeup jobs, you know?
Yeah.
Then you've got the talent one where there's casting calls the whole time. So it's actually a big.
I want to understand about
I'm auditions. So I'm saying like the as much as Instagram exists and now YouTube. Hi guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello.
And press the notification bell below.
Hello.
But
Hello.
but the community is one of the most valuable assets of Media Change Agents as well.
It's also cool to find each other there.
Yes.
Like you find the talent that you want to work with and you discover people, you know their voices.
100%.
It's really awesome.
And there's that trust as well because you're coming from this body. You know, as much as we always say we want to open up industries and you end up calling your friends because when I turn around and I say this person must know what I mean. But because of MCA, you build that trust of saying we're all part of one community.
Yeah.
So if I'm giving new people a chance, so it's our way actually of paying homage to open up the industry because if I'm calling someone from Media Change Agents, you are accountable to Media Change Agents because you filled in a form. We all know who you are. We're all in this group and we all resolve sort of those little moments of friction together. So, you're able to open up the industry because there's that accountability stream as well.
We even suggest what rate you need to charge for your job.
What rate
Before you undersell yourself.
In the spirit of solidarity of all our industry peers, we also say, guys, don't undercharge because it's to a detriment.
Know
to
your
everybody
worth.
else.
Yeah, and to that, we're actually with that. There is a certain etiquette you need to have when you're having these social, like when you're connecting with people, when you're networking on social media streams. Some people are very hectic, but I think let's get into what Elton is gonna do. Then we'll
sure.
Okay, so speaking of social media, let's hear what the people are saying.
Okay.
Right? The streets are talking.
Okay.
Right? And I'm part of the streets.
Yes.
And I'm there, my ears on the ground. You see? So basically, this is what has been happening, right? So on the conversation of opening up the industry and also breaking the barriers of entry, there's been a hashtag that has been going on. I wouldn't even call it a hashtag. It's more of a movement, right? Hashtag open up the industry. That was started by a guy called Phumlani Kambo. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. And
years ago, when was it? Like
it was started by Phumlani.
Yeah.
You know, so what was his handle when he was?
I forgot, but now I think it's Phumlani _ prep. So basically,
let's just fact check. Sorry.
Come on, you don't.
No, I believe you. Carry on. Yeah.
No, carry on.
And this was years ago. Sorry, that's what I was saying. That was like maybe like 15 years, 10 years ago or something.
A long time ago. And the whole point of that movement was to say, just exactly that. Open up the industry, give the new talent a bit of experience and opportunities. Whenever there's something else and you feel like, okay, I can put a new character here, have those open auditions. You're not going to die. And we've seen a lot of new faces on television that have done great, and for example, I think, House of Sweden, for example, the older characters are the veterans, but then the younger characters are new faces. And we've gotten to love them, right? And then you go to Blood and Water. Most of the characters, we didn't know them, right? And then they brought in the veterans as the parents. So there's that perfect balance of introducing the new talent, but also making sure that they have some sort of mentors to assist them when they get into that industry. So that's something that we need to look at. But on the shady side of things, guys, people are complaining. Our hunk of the season, right?
Who's that? I almost said something and then it's
Not Lisang.
Oh.
I'm sure you were like, "Hi, why am I in the news?"
No, I was gonna, you know what?
We were gonna say-
quiet.
Yeah.
Our hunk of the
Sing
season.
abantu open.
Open up this industry, care.
Yes. So this is what the streets are saying, ne? It's not me, it's the streets. So
Are
basically,
you not the streets?
I am part of the streets. I run. No, I don't.
Oh, you run the streets. Oh, you run the streets.
People are probably going to think I'm running burner pages that are busy.
I'm sure. Oh no, I've checked.
I want to check who runs the streets.
Who runs the streets?
I don't want to give shameless
Who
plans right
runs
now.
the streets?
We all know who does.
Elton has his
Okay, so catch us up.
I don't run the streets, but my ear is always on the ground.
Catch us up. What's
Right?
happening in the
So here's what's been happening, right? So we've been talking about the barriers to entry and everything else. And one of the topics that have come up on Twitter is people actually complaining that Uthembi Nkosi Mthembu is getting a lot of gigs lately, and that means he's being favored, or this and this and that. But my thing is, what if it's just his season?
Yeah.
I mean, he's currently the hunk of the season. I mean, we've seen him on Adulting. And you know what happens on Adulting, right? Yes, we've seen his butt. We've seen his body.
I'm very
We've
interested
seen-
because he is on so many shows.
Mara, we know the strokes are good. So basically, I love a man with momentum. So he's currently doing the momentum in his career, just like his strokes. He's stroking towards success.
Maybe let's reel it back in to speak to what you're saying and how that relates to the barriers of entry. People would say, why isn't he opening up the industry himself to let other people in, and why is he everywhere, right? Which I find that to be completely incorrect.
Yes.
Right? Thembi Nkosi was a completely brand new face that came up into the industry, and we loved him. And because he's getting booked so much, he's growing in experience. He's growing in experience of building his own craft.
And we get to see his
the other thing is that the moment you like somebody, Yaya once said, you want to say, yo, but I want to see more of this person. But we're seeing more of this person from this box of being completely brand new to now getting roles where we're starting to see like a dynamic, like his dynamics, you're starting to enjoy different sides of him because he's an artist. He'll never stop being an artist.
Yes.
But what comes with the experience of doing that art consistently is the experience to let the consumer enjoy your growth as well. So it's not, for me,
It's not.
situations like where you can see growth, absolutely not. Once you stop plateauing as an artist and you keep getting booked because Nalidi connections, that's a different story.
Yeah.
So let's not be disrespectful to the craft. That's what I'm saying.
But the other thing is that in most cases, we never see anything about artists not booking jobs. It's always when they book jobs.
Yeah.
So you might find that it might look like he's booking a lot of jobs and he's appearing on a lot of TV shows, but we don't know how many shows he's gotten rejected for.
The kind of headlines that sell papers are Mang Mang is the lead for the new hit series for whatever.
Yes.
Or Mang Mang caught doing drugs and booze, his career is dead.
Yeah.
So the real journey, the work you put in, the hours of practice, the drives to auditions, the long queues you stand in, the monologues you memorize,
Yeah.
the rejection after rejection, rejection.
Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about that.
One person did talk about it. Who? Well, Tando Tebese, she actually made a video of all the times that
Okay, can I just switch off my phone?
She made it.
She made a video, yeah.
We're gonna put this.
But she
It's fine. Yeah, we're using it. Yeah.
Android.
She made a video. Yeah.
I'm an Android. I think.
Yes, Mashilo, I'm switching it off.
This one has to expose.
I said iPhones and MacBooks only.
Yeah, and I took it so personally. I'm sorry, guys.
It's going to be you.
I'm so sorry.
For example. Sorry, Tando, yeah?
Was able to like compile a video of all the times she has auditioned and not gotten that. So it was nice to watch her effort because you see the person putting her all in. I like in those clips, I'm seeing her crying and I'm like, don't
I can imagine.
cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. But and I'm like, why didn't you get that role? Because near connector now.
Yeah.
But you see, that's the one. That's actually the only person I've seen.
Okay, let me be
be
devil's advocate.
vulnerable in that way.
Let me be devil's advocate. The reality is, the construct of media that we consume is meant to glorify accolades
Yeah.
Success.
and success, right? Because we all, as a human, when you consume this product called media, it's supposed to have an aspirational value towards you and to add to your life. We'll speak about channels that don't, but to add no, I'm just saying to add to your life, right? So it's difficult. No, it's difficult. It's difficult as an artist then to be on a platform like social media where you're gaining social capital to get you more jobs. You're gaining social capital by exposing the best in you, right?
Yeah.
And this goes internationally, the world over. That is why the term celebrity exists, because you are celebrated for your craft. So every single thing that you make people consume are celebrations of you. So then the difficulty then is saying, but then show us the reality.
Yes.
Show us how many of those jobs you haven't gotten. Show us how many of those auditions you haven't showed. Still going back to my point to say that makes you be able to look back and help somebody else say, if I tell this person the story, they glorify me so much that the reality is this is my struggles. And you're like, oh, wait, I'm actually better than you at this phase where I thought, how is this person
really
doing it?
fading.
Yeah, but the reality is you won't be posting that on a media platform
I just
because
have a
it's not an
question.
aspirational thing.
But it's,
Do you get me?
still inspirational.
Which goes to content.
So it's not aspirational to
But it's
like,
inspirational.
look towards the rejection.
Yeah.
It's still inspirational.
It's inspirational,
in that
yeah.
Still you managed to get to your version of success.
Yes.
Even throughout all these rejections. Like still you were hurt, you could have given up.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
If
So
at
it's still
first-
inspirational.
It's
Even
co-
though you don't aspire to go to 50 auditions and be rejected on 45 of them.
It's also
And then-
because inspirational content is not popular. Aspirational
It's
content
Wusi
is very
Tembele.
popular.
No, but guys, here's my thing.
No, I agree with him. I agree with him. It is. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. In real life, right? In real life. But it's like, look here, I started this chicken business with an egg and a feather, and now I supply rainbow chickens, Nando's,
But
and chicken.
my issue with that, right, is that when people want to get into the industry, they have very high expectations.
Yeah.
Because you've already set the tone that, everything is going to be very nice. It's going to be glamorous. I'm going to get every gig. So now people become impatient and they get shocked when they get rejected for
They
roles.
become impatient. I'm a question mark. I three. What?
Yeah, because why aren't I famous yet? Yeah.
And also, why are you not making me famous? Yeah. Excuse me, hi. It's a
Yes.
Sunday. I'm on a date with my man.
No.
Why?
You exist to make them famous.
Are you texting me while I'm looking at my man's ass? And then,
why are you doing
and it's like, okay, cool.
Because,
And,
because
please
you
get
post-
me into that show and all of that stuff. And I'm like, okay.
But
Because now I'm talking
you post aspirational content.
But I'm saying though, Uguti, I also am
Yes,
human. I
you
have a life. So there's etiquette to communicating your
Yes,
needs, right?
yes.
If you don't, like we were talking earlier about blacklisting and like the skills of networking.
Networking, yes.
I think we do need to touch on how people then harass. There's a difference between connecting with Bonang and going like making those connections, making those interactions, and you eventually get to a place versus harassment. So I'm talking about 3 question marks because I'm so triggered by the fact that it's known that I have like 1,000 people texting me at a time and all of that stuff, right? It might not be known to the wider industry, but those who are in the organization know.
No lie, she has 400 and something unread WhatsApp.
I've seen her WhatsApp before. And I'm like, how do you do it?
It's not your responsibility.
And you don't
it's not
have
a job to answer.
But no,
it's a
but I
courtesy, and
want
you
to.
will do. You
I
will.
will.
She
right?
wants from the bottom of her heart. She really wants to respond.
But then
How
I'm saying,
sweet.
Mama baby.
Yeah, you wanna?
I'm saying, Uguti, I know I will. It's something I intend to do. I don't have impatience for it.
Yeah.
But I also, like, right now, you want this to happen. It's urgent to you that it needs to happen. But did you realize that it's a Sunday? Did you realize that most people don't work on Sundays? And media change agents is work to me.
So
Yeah.
that thing
Right?
goes to
And
part
then
of it's a tool in the skill of networking to say approach.
No,
Timing.
let me tell you the
Yeah.
story. Let me
Yeah.
tell you the story. So some person texted me, like a lot of people like don't have I forgive ne etiquette okay, maybe you'll text me at 11 p.m. and all of that stuff.
It's fine. In some
And
industries, it's okay to text me at
my
but I'm up.
very newborn baby.
Yeah. So it means you wake up every 4 hours. So you know.
Yeah, but no, but
She doesn't even sleep.
so I let it go. Ne? But then this one person, it was a Sunday, they texted me and they were like, hi Yaya, can you be my manager for whatever? I'm like, okay, one, this person hasn't researched Uguti who I am and what I do. Ne?
Yeah.
So in the sense that I'm not an artist manager. And you could have said, Uguti, okay, no, but I know in the industry you've done artist management for musicians. But I've never for actors and all of that stuff. So I'm not a
completely
casting
different, 100%.
agent. Yes, right? I'm not a casting agent. I'm not any of that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I just have shows that I work on that I put people on. Right? Cool. You don't know that I'm a content producer. There's a difference between a content producer and a manager. Ne? And then you are demanding my attention right now. And I need to demanding because, so I read the message. The person saw Uguti Ngifundile, but I was on a date with my man.
Yeah, that's also the worst.
You were not sitting there waiting for their
that
message.
text. So
and
then
also,
I'm on a
I should
date
have
with
agency to read your message and not
and
respond.
not so
Why?
I read the message
Respond to my message.
and I was like, okay, I'll get to it. It's a Sunday.
Exactly.
You know, I'm present in the moment that I'm in. I'd like to be present in this moment. So I'm not gonna
But
take
I get to
myself
this.
out,
It's not important.
so it's not important
It
to me
is.
right
To
now.
my life. It's
To my-
not.
right now, yeah.
The person
So-
you're texting, yeah.
Then I read it and I leave it. Angithumela question mark I3.
Ooh, okay.
After how long?
That is passive
Like
aggressive.
10 minutes.
regardless.
Like because we were on a date, we were waiting for Ilona. By the time the drinks came, the question marks were in. So I was
Deliver.
like, okay, right. So I'm like, hi. Hi. I'm a question mark. Anxiety. So please, I saw your message. It's a Sunday. I'm not at liberty to respond today. So please don't. Want to make voice note ukuthi oh ngoba mina angikho cool angeke ngiphendule so you don't answer just ama random you're waiting ngingamthukanga ngomsulu
Projecting.
Nkosi
It's
yami.
entitlement.
Projecting.
I was like baby just hold on ngicela ubatshela ukuthi bakhipha ama ice cool drink khona into emele ngi-attend khona samele ngimbhalele essay
And uyayibhala i-essay,
ngabe
understand?
ngimtypela ngithi asicale la sihlobo asazana nongazi ene angiresearchanga ene yabona lento ngicela yona ngisho ukuthi mina ngine access more than you so awazi nokuthi uhambela kuphi inyawo zakho ziyanyathela ziyastompa zibheke ukuthi zistompa kuphi uzonginyanyisa sicale lapho.
That's incredible.
You know what I
And
would
then
have
we
done?
I love.
Because
I
I
would
would
have-
you're harassing me. You're not networking.
Yeah.
No.
But
There's
you
a
see now,
fine line
There's the
between
etiquette.
But you see now, that's where then it becomes an issue because now I then turn around as somebody who and go, yeah, mara uayanda usvalela ma channel. No, it's not uayanda usvalela ma channel. Wena awukwazi ukukhuluma because awuzicabanganga ukuthi actually ngifuna ukuthini, what do I want? How do I want to get it? And how do I then approach this human to say, yo,
And when?
listen,
When
and
do
when?
I approach
Because it is important. When
Yeah.
is very important. Mina, after 8, I won't toilet.
And if that message comes to me at a time where I find it invasive, I mean, I'd probably say FootTech and Block.
Because here we go. It's boundaries. It's boundaries. It's boundaries.
But I think it goes back to what Ulisang said earlier, right? To say, if you're going to be networking, be persistent, but don't harass people. Like, have timing.
Courtesy.
Yes.
Like,
even the
that's why
example
we
you
say-
gave about Bonang, that was a perfect example.
Because Kwa, we say decorum.
Right? Right. Myself.
Maitseo. No, le boikokobetso, maitseo, boikokobetso, tlhompho.
Wait a second.
Yeah, but also, and then also, you also clearly don't know me if you are saying, Guti, just because I'm whoever you're not gonna respond to me. You clearly don't
You
know
don't
me.
even know me like
because
that.
I don't have in fact, in our ethos is that we combine veterans with, mid-level, with aspirant people. Everybody is the same to us. So we're saying, come through. As long as you believe in yourself, come through,
Yeah.
So you clearly don't know me if you're going to say that to me. And then one day,
Yeah, you will know me
Other people
on the wrong terms.
Yeah. Sure.
because we're discussing social media and stuff. There's I mean, we've gone through a couple of barriers to entry, and we've gone through our perspectives of them and how to view them and whatever. But then also we're leaving out, there's other ones from industries that maybe, let's say, we're not a part of. I'm speaking from a point of privilege here, ladies and gentlemen. Right? There's always felt like there's a gap between the digital media production space, as in the influencer space, and the traditional media space, right?
Also.
And no, I'm just saying, let's talk about
can
like an
see it.
overview, right?
I can see it.
Which can be a barrier of entry because you're a YouTuber. You don't know what the format of SABC is. You don't know how to record it. You're somebody who started your own channel and you're growing. The more we see your views, the more you grow. Then the barrier to entry is that, market digital. Let's take his idea and shoot it more for television, because this guy will never understand television, right? That's just a touch point.
Is
Number
the
one.
Ray proof them wrong?
No, but
No.
you're...
I'm not saying let's discuss them.
Oh, no, that
I'm
was-
just like saying like
Okay,
there's
we
like
hear you.
so many more. Like, let's not say
Okay.
that what we've discussed here like is
Cool,
the
it's
be all and end
exhaustive.
all of the list is extremely exhaustive. So I'm not saying like let's break them down. I can see I was
No, but now you're
now
touching it
I'm
in
touch-
the...
but
You
I
can't
feel
bring
like-
it to the audience and not bring it and not do it.
see when we ended the
can't-
segment, I was like, actually we're forgetting something very,
You
very
can't bring it
important.
to the audience and not unpack it, because it's going to be like, okay, what were you saying?
So
Do you know TV
Yes.
people don't really want digital people to come into the TV space?
this is exactly what I'm saying.
And not just like from production perspective. It's
Yeah.
just from also just because you got 1 million views on that thingy, it doesn't mean you can be a presenter.
100%. 100%.
Yeah,
But which
just
is true.
because you shot this thing on your iPhone doesn't mean you're a DOP.
Yeah.
But it's very guys, but no, it's not that it's wrong. It's absolutely true. Because
Is
just because you did that does not mean the reality is, are you able to?
Sustain.
If we put you on that platform, are you able to give us that presenting talent that now is for television? Because on TikTok, I can just hold a TikTok here and record and I can go viral and 1 million views. But then that goes to social capital, guys. There's a difference.
It's
That's why I
true
want that
in
they-
some way.
That's why that Jeremy Fukeng came and they are very warranted in what they're saying, but that shouldn't, like we said, we're discussing barriers of entry, right? Okay. That from the influencer side, as much as people can feel like there's a barrier of entry for them to get into television, the reality is that there is a discord in between the two, which is based on experience of this is a rote way of doing things in this industry.
But then
Okay.
it also just means growth.
Yes.
The industry itself needs to grow.
And
Well,
evolve.
I'd say growth in terms of
Evolve.
needs to grow, but now the different people
Yes,
are
I'd say-
not really
Integrating.
So,
But
yes,
a lot
I'll-
of them are, and this is why I'm saying it's a barrier of entry, because a lot of a YouTuber can start off on their phone, right, and record a YouTube video, and they start becoming more popular. They start saying, "Let me buy a camera. Let me buy a light. Let me start going on YouTube and finding out what am I lighting? What is a key light? What is it this? Oh, let me buy a lens. What is a prime lens? What is whatever?" But that is growth. Like we said, Gabu Tembiko said to say, if you're enjoying watching someone, then you start enjoying watching their growth, right?
Yes.
And then these digital people then start growing to the level of, okay, guys, I'm running a full-on, technically, production company, it's just that it's on the internet. Then the barrier of entry exists to say, Maraki internet.
Can I give 2
Do
examples?
you see what I'm saying? Do you get
Yeah.
where I'm coming from?
Can I give 2 examples? One, George Mnguni.
Yes.
Wasabi,
Yes.
right?
Okay, Wasabi. Yeah.
Wasabi was on YouTube, and when we went and did TIA, the producers were like, "We like those YouTube boys, even Microwave Boys, right?" So I called them up.
That's what I'm saying. I'm speaking from experience.
So yeah, with George, okay, Wasabi. We actually had him behind the scenes, so he was writing the skits with me.
Yes.
Right.
Like Sipo's a writer as well.
He was writing the skits with me. His own segments, we were writing them together. When we were shooting other people's segments, we were on set laughing and creating jokes. And I'm like, shit, let's
100%.
give them to these guys.
100%.
So the comedians we were shooting, we were giving them those jokes because we were just trolling on set, and you know. So he was part of the process, and he's like, he made a good transition from like,
and he earned his stripes.
From like
100%.
digital to thingy.
100%.
Versus the people that I work with in reality who we put on screen because they have social media popularity.
Yeah.
So when now you're putting them on a reality TV show and they agreed to be content, right? The content that's been shot. And they get shocked, Uguti, we're not just here to shoot you a day in the life, girl.
It's not a vlog.
It's not a vlog. We're not gonna do 24 minutes of 13 episodes of Get Ready With Me. Follow me doing this. And it's so hard for them to wrap their heads around the fact that you actually have to give your life. You actually have to give us the you have to be vulnerable in order for the content to sit, for the audience to connect with you. It's not, I'm not putting you in front of your fan base.
Yes.
I'm putting you in front of the TV audience who are tuning into that slot. So they are that slot's audience. So you need to prove your value to them by actually giving them yourself.
Which opens up a can of worms, because then what is value, right? Value then will be eyes on the product.
No, but what I think,
I'm about to land.
Sure,
I'm saying there'll be
Okay, pilots. Land.
Trust me, I've done a lot of landings. We're all in safe hands.
Soft landing.
So I'm saying, damn, what was I saying?
You were landing.
Oh.
Look at that Mr. Approach.
The pilot.
Oh man, sorry.
Okay, what you were explaining, Uti, what I was saying?
Oh yes, I was saying then isn't the barrier of entry then education? So then must be introspection, right? Well, George Wasabi, now they know the TV industry inside out, even though they could have started from a digital spectrum. As much when they were persistent enough to break those barriers, then they started understanding television. We see as well from Microwave Boys, they grew, now they understand television. That's why they're on television.
Yeah.
So I think we're actually talking and we're making sense of our earlier points to say that the persistence of it, which comes with the respect of the craft. And I've said this many, many times before, that once you respect that craft, it doesn't mean the barrier of entry is the fact that you didn't go to AFDA. I didn't go to AFDA.
Yes.
Yes, but my name has been on the credits at Con Film Festival.
There's a barrier of entry for Africa kids on its own.
Out there.
100%.
Just the name.
100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want this to be a discussion because like there's many layers of that. Then there's other layers of barriers to entry formed by the lack of access to equipment or where you watch big corporates hiring these big studios where they say this is what we're doing, we're all pumping money into this, but the little things are wrong. There's still the detachment from are you actually helping people create content if that's what they want to do, or is this corporate culture, right? And I want to bring in corporate culture because if we go back to the reason why what Buntate Jerumofukeng was saying about these influencers being hired and whatever, is because there's a certain level of responsibility that has to go to the corporate culture of making money from a show, and the numbers do count, right? So if Mang that I'm putting on my screen has got the social capital of millions of followers on Twitter, I am only doing that to increase my viewership. But
it doesn't automatically
compromises the art.
That's what happens is it compromises the art. But I don't think we should ever we're all in agreement that it compromises the art, right? But we shouldn't have a blanket approach to it because, like we said, like we said with many other examples, is the fact that sometimes there's those that are persistent enough to punch through the blanket and say, I actually want to learn this. that
Okay.
barrier of blank, and I say, I actually want to learn this and I actually want to do this, and I'm actually serious about it. Yes, I came here with 2 million followers. Guess what?
Yeah.
That is your school fees. All these attitudes that you're getting from Buyaya as a producer saying she's just an influencer. It's your school fees for the streets, my darling, because you weren't there when somebody was carrying a C-stand the whole time, right?
By the
You
way,
get
how
places-
is supportive of
No,
influencers coming to
it's an analogy.
I just
Okay,
No,
I
it's
just
an
have an
analogy.
okay. Here's an
No,
example,
agreed.
right? Because I think there are people that have a high following but are also talented, right?
Exactly.
For
So it
example,
shouldn't be a blanket
yes.
approach.
Yes.
For example, Musha was great.
Yes.
There's the new girl I follow on TikTok, Ulerato Numalo. She's Pagamile on Scandal, right? I used to follow her on TikTok. I still do. And when she moved from TikTok to Durban Jan and then Scandal, then you start to see, okay, as much as, yes, the following might have contributed to her getting the role,
Yeah.
she does know how to, bring life to the character.
Yes.
So there are cases where, it's just, hey, it's an advantage. Lisang has great number of followers. We put them there.
It's the corporate
Yes.
companies that don't
But then
take
there's
this-
also those where you're like, come on now.
Yeah.
Bad.
No.
Yeah.
I'm really honest.
Where it becomes disrespectful to the craft. And that is why,
Yes.
that's why they say open up this agency, the industry.
industry.
Sorry.
Yes.
Hashtag open up the industry, because the reality is that is how you gatekeep.
Yes. And
It's a form of gatekeeping.
yes,
You're
yes.
hiring people just because there's social capital. It's also a form of gatekeeping, because some actors are actually very private.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't have social media, but you're incredible at
And it's actually a
And I
skill
think it's a
to
skill.
build that. So you
Yeah.
can't
100%.
actually market. It's a marketing skill.
Yeah.
So you can't, as an actor, what you know is your craft.
Yes.
You don't know how to be a marketer.
And that's why an actor,
I'm
an
going to
actor is
say
not an
another
influencer.
barrier
An
to
influencer
entry.
can be an actor. Did you hear what I said? An actor is not a,
An influencer,
But
yeah.
both can.
an influencer is able to be an actor.
Yes.
It's like theater and television.
Like a
acting.
presenter
Right?
being an
A theater
actor.
person can come down to be a television actor because it's a toning down of certain.
Yes.
But
It's
television
less dramatic.
doesn't
But a television,
translate as well.
it's difficult
From
for me
TV to
express
theater.
Something is, if I've done television for a long time, for me to express someone sitting in the back on the 100th row on auditorium.
yeah.
It's a darling.
You need to be,
Yeah.
look at the mirror.
I don't know. I think it's a.
I
I'm not on
experienced that
any
when I
side
was
in
watching
this conversation.
Princess.
Okay, let's take a breath again.
Yeah.
All right.
To decide what side Lisan must be on with this conversation.
Lisang is everywhere.
I hear both
What a
sides.
confused guy.
Both sides.
hear both
So
sides.
by the end of this, you must decide.
Okay, I hear all of that. But there are performers like Florence Masebe who says, I don't audition.
Yeah.
I've worked long enough. You've seen my work.
Yeah.
You've seen my range.
Yeah.
This is what I can do.
Yeah.
So you call me. And there are people who've actually honored her by writing a role
For her.
for her. So there are, I want to say, even 3 layers. So you can be the influencer who turned actor who says, I'm not an influencer and my talent should speak for me. And then there are people who just say, well, my talent really should speak for me.
Yes.
They're not even fighting the influencer. They are
100%.
not part of the
They're
fight.
not- yeah.
They're not even the audition. It's like,
Mm.
you know me,
I'm here.
call me.
They don't even bother networking.
And you also.
They don't even bother
Yeah, 'cause
networking.
you guys know that I exist.
Yeah.
My art should speak for me.
However, we are not all Florence Masebes. She came from many years ago. So when you are new in the industry, you need to find spaces that allow you in. So there's film festivals. What I like about film festivals is they have youth, or how do I say it? New entrants, emerging filmmakers
Yes.
kind of programs. So I will start with the oldest and the biggest film festival in South Africa, which is the Durban International Film Festival. It happens around July. And it's a film festival and a film market. Film festival in that it shows off the film, but it's a film market in that you pitch to distributors, to
buyers.
co-founders and
Yeah.
whatever, and buyers. So you're beginning to sell either your
It's an
idea,
immersive experience
Yeah.
of film.
either your idea, a complete project or
Yeah.
something that's how far you want. Even find co-production partners.
Yeah.
So that's networking. So you're finding co-production partners. And another thing is in South Africa, there's 50 whatever million of us, or let's say 60 million, 62 million.
Thanks.
And in
I like having a fact checker.
in Nigeria, how many people are there?
Yo, there's a lot.
Is it 45 million?
No,
I mean 450 million.
Probably.
450 million. So look at us. If we take our 60 million and then we collaborate, I go to DIF and then I find this Nigerian person and I collaborate with a Nigerian co-producer. And this is a South African Nigerian story. They give me like
450.
no, just 15 million. I mean, actually,
1%.
just 50 million of their people, which is not even 450, just 50 million or even 60. They double my viewership immediately at a fraction of their thing. So networking collaboration is important. Another thing about this Durban Film Festival, it's got something called Isipetu, and that's for young filmmakers. It teaches them a lot about concept development, storylining, pitching, who your funders are, how you approach them.
So it's like an industry development
with younger filmmakers and the veterans then skills transfer. But then they also empower you with certain tools. There's programs you can apply for and then you get certain money. You have the opportunity to show up and be part of this youth thing, and the veterans in the industry are there to share with you. And the festivals are many. Cape Town has multiple events, but there's the Cape Town Film Festival and Film Market. Again, the market is the same as DIF and DFM, where you showcase, you sell, you find co-production partners, you pitch. The Eastern Cape Development Corporation also has a film festival, and that is actually within the Grahamstown Film Festival in Makanda. So it's got a big student competition.
That is an amazing experience, guys. The Grahamstown Film
When is that one?
It's around August, I think early
It's
August.
June.
Is it June?
It's June. I know it's always
in the
hella
winter.
cold.
I used to live that side.
It's always hella cold. So, which
I am
is
Dora the Explorer. It's actually, you know what?
what's rather cool about that combination is that it's happening within the Grahamstown Arts Festival, which is acting, theater, music, poetry, whatever, craft, everything.
Beer.
So,
The beer tents are incredible.
so when you find this film festival within it, because Grahamstown is a university town, there's a lot of students, so there's a big student contingent. And unfortunately, people migrate to Joburg for work, so the professionals are based here. But the young talent is there. And luckily, ECDC does have a film fund.
Is a barrier to entry.
Yes. Look, honestly, it is.
Yeah. But what then, sorry, the question now pops up in my mind. And I've never had the glory of being at other film festivals.
Yeah.
Like let's say the Toronto International Film Festival.
Yeah.
What comparable to us, like with DIF and whatever, like how would you compare what we have access to in South Africa compared to the international film festivals?
In terms of content, something like Toronto would actually premiere things that are going into cinema or big American productions, right? And DIF usually opens with a big South African, not necessarily emerging. I mean, oh Lord, I didn't go to this year's DIF, but 2019 opened with Jamil's Knuckle City. So it's always a big South African production. What's good about it with DIF is that, fine, the productions we're showcasing our work to us and to the rest of the world. But with the market, the rest of the world is here. The world loves South African stories. And it's a weird fascination, but from the French, the German,
right.
whatever.
You can tell by
And
the
in
way
every industry.
Netflix is just like they sourcing South African stories, wanting South African productions,
Yes.
and asking for non-South African accents.
Eish,
So
there's
they
so
want to make South
Yes.
African
That's a
things
topic
many
on
things.
its own. That's a topic on its
rest
own.
of the industry.
Yo,
Okay,
The rest of
please
the world.
don't open up Pandora's box.
let's close that can of worms. Let me continue and wrap it up quickly.
In the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, so this
Yeah.
why Netflix has different language.
Nah, my subtitles are wrong.
accents for South Africa.
Ooh. And
And
so
also the dress. I mean, look at me. I'm Netflix right now.
Yeah.
This is an African man sitting in a couch.
You are
Is
not
that-
African man.
okay. So let me wrap it up. There are other smaller film festivals like the Ugu Film Festival. It's in KZN, and there's
Reef as well.
Arif,
And
there's
about Discop.
Discop.
And the
usually
one
in
the media
Sandton.
change agents, the one we're gonna do soon.
And we
Hello.
are also coming. And look, I've come across many little. There was one in the East Rand. Was it the Sebokeng Film Festival? The thing is, keep your ear on the ground, hear your peers, and with each film festival. I mean, a lot of them apply to the NFVF. If NFVF funds them, they will invite people who are NFVF funded or people who've worked with the NFVF. So your master classes, even your master classes will be from proper directors who've had experience. So it's plugging in to what we have.
Film Festival.
Cherry Film Festival.
We're about to go.
Yeah.
Soon.
Okay, Fixburg. But another thing.
So, but just a question. So I hear you mentioning like it's film festivals, right? So is it only for films or even television as well, like series and everything?
Yes,
It does. Animation, short notes.
So imagine a Disney world of film. Film meaning everything that has to do with the consumption.
When an envelope yakuthanda ukuthi how can I pitch? Envelope.
Thank you. So people like me, if you are watching and you have a lot of ideas, please make sure that you listen to what Mpo is saying.
Yeah.
And take down the notes and the dates and attend. You'll meet me there as well.
No one's gonna steal your idea.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Lord.
Another topic. Another topic. Okay. Now let me wrap it up.
Yes.
So, besides film festivals, there's something that we ignore or we're not cognizant of that's important for networking and also being heard. So when they are creating bills and laws around copyright, whatever bill, amendment bill, around film and television, they have open sessions where you can go. You can actually be heard and speak. Entities like the Film and Publication Board, when they change their guidelines for age ratings, there's public hearings, I think, countrywide. And that's where you go.
It's a decision
involving
everybody.
It's an open invitation.
Yeah, like a gazette.
Yes. And then you can contribute. But also what happens afterwards? You're speaking to stakeholders. At an FPB, the people who submit films are distributors.
Explain what FPB is. This.
Sorry.
They might be wondering what is FPB.
Sure.
I'm also wondering.
She just say film and publications.
Let me explain it.
Like in
the
a layman's term,
Film and Publications Board is a board that gives ratings, age appropriate ratings to content, to protect younger viewers from content that is not suitable for them, and to give viewers consumer advice. So if I will be triggered by violence and they say 16 VL whatever, then I know, even though I'm 32, I don't want to watch a violent show. So basically that's what they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
What I also
Sorry.
Film and Publications Board, isn't it the one that also where people apply for license? So I'm just going back to some of the articles that we've come across and maybe discussed, right?
Yeah.
When the SABC was applying for TV license, I'm a TV, I'm a laptop, I'm a tab, I'm a ini.
The streaming.
That's ICASA.
Would it be ICASA?
Yeah,
that's ICASA.
Publications Board.
No, that one is
That's
FPB
broadcast.
is a regulatory
It's a
body to just for consumer advice
Like
and
this show,
consumer
18
protection.
SNL, baby.
Is it 18?
This one is a 16.
So but
It's a 16.
I'm just trying to take it back to say that's what the Film and Publications Board does.
It's 16.
We're still on 16.
Yeah. So those opportunities, and also look out for events. The Gauteng Film Commission, for instance, had a whole screening thing, and that they would have screenings in the townships, Sebokeng, Meadowlands. I might be lying, but they do these screenings all over townships. That's where you meet people. That's where
Audience development. They do a lot of audience development.
A lot of
Like you
audience
said,
development.
those are the not emotive, like immersive sort of things to
Experiences.
attend to.
Yeah.
To also like tickle your passion.
Yes.
You know, that's what it is.
I'm sorry. I also want to just add, as much as I'm checking now on Twitter, First Wednesday's Film Club. We're talking about I don't know because they
Kuda
lost
is so
post.
excited there in the back.
I
I wish I had a
know.
camera.
No, that's not.
He almost dropped.
I know.
I wanted a shot. I want a shot
Yeah,
of him.
Because so
Wednesday.
First Wednesdays is exactly what all these festivals about,
Yes.
but every first Wednesday of each month.
Oh, so it's like
and
a monthly.
it's literally a local thing happening at Atlas Studios. But I need, when this goes live, can somebody from First Wednesdays please contact us
Yes.
so that we can actually put you out there, because it is an important
To have them sit here
piece
with
of
us so that we
information
can
to be out there.
talk.
Because honestly speaking, First Wednesdays gave me a lot of the love for television and film.
Oh, that's so nice.
So it really, really, really is. It was an essential part of my being in the industry.
Yes.
You get to meet the Yayas, the Kudas, you meet them all. And they are humans.
And they are human.
Akim.
Which guy?
Akino Motoso.
Akino Motoso.
Kuda.
He was always
like
there.
Yes.
He was always there.
Isn't he the founder?
Yes. He was always there and having to talk to. Like, he's an approachable person.
So we need him here.
Like,
Definitely.
Can y'all please
Organize.
get
As you
yourselves
guys heard,
together?
the lady behind the voice, behind the camera, behind the voice.
Behind the counter.
Yeah.
I just pulled out an important direct and intentional request.
Yo,
to the
ukuthi
powers
Akino
that be.
Motoso sicela usibone.
And you know what? Even if they don't find this, I want somebody who's watching it must send the link.
Cela, please send them a link.
Yeah, if you do know him, please do share this link with him.
And tell him to watch about this
Because
many
we would
minutes at this
appreciate having a conversation with him about First Wednesday Film Club.
Yes.
Gotcha,
So
girl.
that will also attend. So
Cool.
what's your parting shot?
I was about to
Thank
give
you.
you all of
point. Shot,
that.
are we having shots?
Yes.
Like actual
Oh,
shots?
yeah.
We don't know
I'm
what's in
giving
the
you.
cup.
I'm
What's in
giving
the
you
cup?
permission.
Wait.
So
Does that mean that we're getting a shot per thought? Or
yes.
Is it
That's
per
amazing.
shot?
Actually, let's do that.
No. One thought, one shot.
So
One thought, one shot.
One shot, one shot.
One shot.
But the thing is, what is in the
so next time.
what is in the
Parting shots, just to explain while beautiful Onyinye.
And also-
guys, I call my child beautiful Onyinye, and now feeling
You know what I like about this moment?
Yeah.
Is that people think that, we don't know that when we have podcasts that are new and stuff, that you have to sometimes plug brands to
Yeah.
show that these are brand opportunities. We'd like to thank our venue. So we're going to use their
Yeah,
branding.
we're using their
This
cup.
is a slight
Thank you,
moment
WeWork,
thank you, WeWork.
for giving us.
This is a slight moment of, what do you call it?
Appreciation.
Shameless
Brand-
plug.
No, it's called in marketing
Brand
brand
face
integration. No, it's
Yeah.
integration.
integrating the brand.
So this is brand integration. So a parting
Our parting shot,
shots
right?
for a parting
There's a
thought.
shot in here, but guess what's in the shot? What's in the cup?
What is
So
is it tequila?
Is
it tequila?
It's not for you to guess.
Basically, what parting shot is we are taking a moment to think of what we've spoken about and say, what's your final thought on this? And what are you parting with? And what are you taking a shot at?
Okay.
You can start.
What am I taking a shot at?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start there.
Actually, I haven't thought about mine. Damn.
Wait, a shot in what context? What am I shooting my shot at?
Oh my
I mean, you can.
Look, you can shoot your shot into the industry again.
I mean, you can
So
shoot your
I should
Because
have
you
bet
did
on
shoot
to
in
a
your shot.
person. As long as it's not to a person.
another crush.
Yes, we
We
can't
all
have
know
another
that you know how to
crush.
shoot
Like I'm
your
always
shots.
on the tippy toes of my feet. And I keep people on the edge of their seat.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
True that.
Yeah, but I think we've had great conversations. I'm shooting my shot to say to other people to say, attack every single person that you aspire to.
Okay, simply
And that's it.
harassment. ukuthi mina ngicela ningangiharass.
Yes, but I can we've covered that in this podcast to say the other thing is that we need to be cognizant of the fact that we're all human, right? It's not about harassing this person. There's persistency. I've met people where they've had internet. There's an artist called Umuzi. I don't know if you guys know him from Durban. Here's a nice story. Umuzi actually was living in the streets at some point, and I got the privilege to shoot one of his documentaries, right? And the person that's managing him is in conversations with people like Coldplay.
Oh.
You
Sorry,
get what I'm saying?
what does he do?
Coldplay,
I know Muzi.
yeah, you know Muzi.
Yeah.
So
He
his
makes
manager,
music.
yeah.
Oh, the one who hated on Beyonce's Renaissance.
Okay, I'm a Beyonce fan. We're not gonna go there. Let's listen. No, but listen.
Take it there.
Let's listen.
Okay, sorry,
Let's listen to where it's coming from, right? Because that manager, and the reason why I eventually also wanted to manage somebody is because he left me with a bit of knowledge to say that, you know what, managing somebody as well means like you need to know more than the person's industry to be able to groom them in that industry. I've got access to Coldplay, but this guy emailed me every single day for more than I could be correct, but more than a year. More than 365 days of somebody emailing you to say, give me attention and listen to this. Give me attention, listen to this. That was his persistence to eventually have such a manager flies down to another country to come and take care of you. Right. So I think that's our parting shot to say to people that the persistence is the only thing for me that is capable of breaking the barriers to entry.
Cheers. You take your shot.
Take a shot.
You take your shot. Cheers.
Okay.
Batong.
Okie dokie. So, my thought is that, okay, in terms of breaking barriers, if you have the opportunity and if you have some level of gatekeeping power, open it up. I've had an opportunity to open up the industry. An opportunity to someone in the industry. We were doing a series and they were first-time script writer. So I had experienced script writers and one. First time, fresh out of school, never written a script in her life. And we had 130 episodes, but by episode 40 to 50, she had nailed the concept. She had her own voice. She had put in things within the format which were unique to her, which were actually quite quirky and cool. And then towards the end, she had begun content producing. She was coming up with topics. So as the content producer and head writer, I was coming up with a lot of the topics and maybe in a brainstorming session. But she would come with them from home and say, Mpho, I have these topics. Do you approve? And I loved them. She blew my mind.
Yeah.
And the experienced people delivered. Great, perfect, what I expected. But she delivered in a new way. She was like, her episodes were a breath of fresh air. She wasn't encumbered by rules. She thought differently. She engaged with the world holistically in a way the rest of us can't. So actually, bringing new talent in is not just beneficial for grooming them. It enhances your project. And I think one of the marks of a great leader is mentoring someone to be even better than you.
Yes.
So another thing is each one take one. If you've got an opportunity, if you see someone who's amazing, nurture them, give them the opportunities, open those doors for them, introduce them to people. It takes absolutely nothing away from you. And it is actually heartwarming to see this talent. I love unearthing talent. I love finding gems. And when we open that up, we find gems that add another dimension and a new way of thinking and a freshness to our content that we would never ever fathom.
Breathing
And
life into it.
don't let it scare you. Nurture it and let it breathe life into your work, because when we take credit, it's your production. You're the producer. And it's this amazing thing. So just because you let some young person shine, it actually makes you the hero.
Yes.
So
Doesn't
open
take
up.
away your shine.
It takes away nothing. What? A candle that lights another candle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. You deserve your shot.
Hallelujah.
It's bad luck. It's bad luck for me to toast with an empty glass. So everybody is going to take a shot.
Eye contact.
Or you can just get more shots.
We're watching you take yours.
Yay!
Because it's your home. You.
Okay, guys, my honeys, my loves, the younger generation.
You say my honeys.
The younger generation. Let the youth
You see the old ones, they don't know what my honeys means. They're shocked.
I've heard people like almost like how I use it and stuff. So I always wondered about it. Like my honeys. Like,
It means everything. It means my people, my guys, my dolls, my everything, my camp, my crew, my entourage.
Yes.
But I think just to close off, there's a lot of young people that have a lot of great ideas, like Mpho was saying. And all we need is just an opportunity. Like, just give us that one opportunity and say, I'm going to take a risk with this person, mentor them, show them the ropes, and trust and believe. you are going to also learn a lot from the young people because we come with fresh ideas. We don't have any experience. So whatever idea that I have, trust and believe, I probably dreamt of it. And people might say, our ideas have been there for a long time, but trust and believe. There's just some ideas that are just too great that you can tell this is a gift.
Come on, Togoza.
Where you can tell this is a gift that was given to this person, because there are people that are just gifted with that thing of storytelling. Right? Where you're just a good storyteller. You can just come up with a good concept. And yes, the technical people are going to help you with that. But the most important thing is just take the risk and say, I'm going to knock on doors, like Lisang said, and not give up and just say, whatever happens, I'm going to knock on doors. I'm going to send the emails and I'm going to make sure that I get to where I want to be. And networking is also very important. We've been given tips and, events to attend. Utilize those because, for example, I didn't know about most of these film festivals. But now that I know, I'm definitely going to take the dates down and try and go to one or two and come back with feedback.
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
Yes.
What sort of drag out? You guys said that diff was nice. I don't like that matter thing about it.
Yes, I'm going to come back and do a review.
Okay.
And also
Love it.
do a vlog nyana. And when I get the funding or whatever partnership that I do, I'm going to come back again and tell you guys it works. So you must go.
Okay, wait, that's your.
Okay,
I've
fine.
already told them
In front of people.
Promise. It's
If
not a
you guys don't
it's a
see
promise.
Ayanda in my vlog or you don't see me in Ayanda's vlog, just know that she lied on a public platform. Toast.
How can I toast to that? Why cheers this?
When I get jealous.
So with me, on the topic of young people, I would say the veterans actually need to learn from young people in terms of the energy youth networker. Because I even know when I was younger, I had much more energy of like going to places. I'm a film festival. I used to attend them more when I was younger than now. And I've got the invite, but I don't attend events anymore. So I think maybe I should start going back. But my point was, younger people are networking higher. Trevor Gumbi has a very famous quote, which is sleep your way to the middle. To contextualize that.
But I like it. It sounds harsh, but it's
a harsh one, and it was a joke on Twitter or 10 over 10. I can't remember which one.
Yeah. If we're not sensitive about it, it's actually it's a good analogy.
So what I'm saying is, what we do. So when we're younger, we're seeking people who are more experienced than us.
Yes.
Yes.
So when we're younger, we're asking for veterans or whoever is in the industry to put us in or plug us, right? When we're older, we're networking within our peers. So I'm like, yes, you can lift me, but I'm networking here. Why? I'm networking with the people who are seeking the same opportunities as me. Why? Like, how am I going to advance? So essentially, we need to be networking higher. Yes. We need to be going, and then we won't be scratching each other about opportunities. We need to be networking with, in fact, people from funding institutions, not like the panel or whatever, but I mean banks, because those are financial institutions. Yeah. They provide funding for productions. So I've done a Metropolitan show. I've done one sponsored by the Department of Social Development. I've done a lot of sponsored shows. And when you are on an AFP, they're called AFPs, advertiser funded programs. When you're on an AFP, you get the money that you request.
Yes.
You work within the times that so the industry is much more fair. So if we, the ones who have hit a ceiling or whatever, can network higher and start bringing more advertiser funded programs, then we actually are opening up the industry more and bringing in more fairness.
Like compose it to make someone better than you. It's not just come to my level.
Now we're shaking hands with each other.
Because everyone has different ceilings.
Yes. So we need to break our own one. You're not at the end of your career just because you've done 13, 20 years or whatever. You need to go higher and speak to the people with money.
Or you can pivot to something in the different...
So when we bring in that element, And you can see now it's harder. Well, I don't know if it's harder to get commissioned, but the challenge of getting commissioned is the fact that you're scared to pitch because your idea might be stolen. You're scared to pitch because so many barriers, your mind is barriering you yourself, right? So if you're at an advertiser funded program, you're pitching it to the advertiser first.
Yeah.
You're pitching it to the sponsor first. And then those institutions, they are in corporate, they want to be in creative. So give them what they want, meet the people who you can have these conversations with, give them what they want, and then bring that money into their channel to say, okay, I come with Telkom. What would you like to do about this show?
Yeah.
And when I say what would you like to do, I mean, what slot are you trying to put me in? You know what I mean? So I'm saying, let's learn from the youth and network higher instead of scratching each other for the same opportunities and fighting with, oh, that production has got another show. Why? They commissioned again. No, Doug. Go scratch up there and
Bro,
I love it. I love how you, yeah, that's nice.
But it goes back to the
Cheers,
name, name of the podcast. What is it?
something's gotta change.
Exactly.
Hello.
You get it.
Hello.
Something's gotta change.
Yes, please follow us.
Something's gotta change. Follow us on all social media networks.
Exactly.
Something's gotta change.
Yes.
Joking. Something's gotta change. No, I'm not joking.
Yes.
Something's gotta change.
Well, something's gotta change, and you guys need to follow me so that things can change.
Us, the show. Please follow Media Change Agents.
Yes.
Please follow our pages. We're on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn for businesses. If you are out there funding nonprofits and you feel like you like our mission and you would like to support us, please do. And if you are not like an institution or whatever, you can also get with us on Back a Buddy, because we are trying to build towards a festival so that there are more of these networking opportunities, and we want to do it very often. We will surprise you with what we are actually building towards at the end of the year. So we don't want to talk about it now, but something's coming, okay?
Yes.
So please like, subscribe, follow, do all these things. And to the crew, thank you guys. Say bye. Bye.
I like how this actually breaks the fourth wall. It's like there.
And thank you.
2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. I could flip a dime to $1 million. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. 3, 2, 1. Anywhere I'm at, turn the city up. 3, 2, 1. I don't like to brag, but I'm really on. It's a new day, days been new. Been a decade since I made it out of rental. We some owners, baby, we don't got no rent due. Might trick, but my wife, you like to trick too. Merry Christmas, hey, Saint Nick. What we want, get, we on wait list. How we got here doesn't make sense. Had patience.